Hello.
Hi.
This episode, our guest is Mike Sahm. He's a local Portland producer. He's on the stateside roster. It was a good one. We talk about a little bit of everything. We talk about the new A Perfect Circle album and how Mike doesn't like it, and he's a negative old man.
Oh man.
Uh,
God damn.
it was a good one. Take it away, Andrew.
I'll say we did some spaceship sounds.
I can do it. We have the technology. Welcome to Stateside Pod Kizzle.
Welcome to the stateside. It was a monster mash.
God damn it.
He did a graveyard smash.
Mike, how's your mom?
She's doing pretty good.
Yeah?
It was
Yeah.
a graveyard smash.
You know, she's a mom. She's a scrapbooking lady.
Scrap?
No, scrapbooking.
Oh.
Your mom?
Yeah, she's a total scrapbooking mom.
What does that mean?
Like,
She's scrapbook.
Like old
like
school
when you get to
scrapbooking?
your mid to when you're middle-aged woman, married, you have kids, you dwell into the
So
scrapbooking world.
She's
Ah.
taken?
Huh?
She's taken?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Fortunately for a long time.
How crazy would that be if I dated
Your parents are
mom?
still together, yeah?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think I was one of the only few kids
Me too.
growing up
Me
that
too.
parents weren't divorced.
And actually in love.
Yeah.
My parents adore each other.
Yeah, same. It's
There's
awesome.
Are they
they
in
set
love,
a
though?
standard that's just so impossible.
Wait, what?
Are they in love, though?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
my dad's crazy about my mom. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
No, it wouldn't work anyway with them.
No.
If they tried to do it, or if they tried to go with someone else,
Sure.
it wouldn't work. My mom's too stubborn,
Yep.
and my dad's just way too patient.
So she hasn't met me yet. We'll talk about that later.
All right.
We'll talk about that later.
Let's officially begin here. Andrew, you good?
We're good to go, man.
All right. Well, welcome to the Stateside Podcast. I am James, and sitting next to me is Neil Engel
Hello.
with our trusted producer, Andrew Carrion. Today, our guest is Mike Sahm.
Mike, you didn't do beep 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 with us.
Boop, boop, boop.
There you go. Okay.
Dreaming.
Andrew, you got to work on that, man. We got to get those.
We can move on now.
Mike Sahm is part of the Stateside family. I represent him as a manager would.
Yes.
He's also a dear, dear friend of mine. How long have I known you? I've known you for a few years.
Yeah, I mean we've
It's like
always
this time last year is when I first started to
Yeah,
work with you.
and then I think usually before then it was always just kind of we would go to see a movie.
You were that guy with Stefan.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
just hanging with Steph and I were like, hey, we're gonna go see. What was that? We went to go see Black Mass, and we were all just like,
Oh,
wow.
did you like that movie?
No,
There's no way you did.
There's no way.
Yeah, there's no way you did.
That
You
movie
and
was
Stefan are very similar.
Well, it was just like they tried to make it too much.
To be fair, I didn't like it very much.
Yeah, I think after the movie, we were all just kind of like,
Yeah.
we expected way more.
Well, that was the thing. It was built up to be this fucking thing, like
And
the
it
next
just, like-
Departed or something.
Yeah, exactly, and it just
You're like,
was
no,
not at
he was just
all.
in a goofy, makeup.
That wasn't
prosthetic-
convincing at
yeah,
all.
Not at all.
And they tried to make you feel bad for him,
Right.
Even though he was just a total piece of shit.
He was a real asshole.
Yeah.
Like a murderous, torturous asshole.
Yeah.
Sounds like my kind of guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is kind of cool, Mike, because it's just now occurring to me that you were on the podcast right about at the 1 year mark for stateside management.
Damn.
Isn't that interesting?
That is
That just
interesting.
sort of
Time
landed.
flies and comes full circle.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's pretty fucking cool. That's sort of serendipitous.
He was the first one you managed, right?
Yeah, he's the
Yep.
first guy.
He's the pioneer.
And look, man, we talked about it on the last episode. I owe everything to you, and I will for a long time. You gave me a chance when no one should have, or no one had a reason to.
God damn it, James, you're fired. No.
I know.
I give people a chance who have a plan. When they don't have a plan, I don't give them a chance.
I did have a plan. To
You
be
had a
fair,
plan.
I had a plan.
Yeah.
That's a good way to live. I never.
I had a
thought of it that
website.
way.
No, it's really when people try to come up to you with some idea to do something and it's just not well thought out, and there's just no planning, it's just kind of like, well, like,
Or is it
Yeah.
actually going
it's
to
the
happen?
same as investing in a business. You're not gonna.
Well, and having an idea is different than a plan.
Yeah.
Like you always hear, Gary Vaynerchuk always talks about people who are like, I thought of Snapchat. I was like, good for you, dickface, so you didn't implement it.
Yeah.
Just because you had a fucking idea doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
It really doesn't mean a whole
Lots
lot.
of people probably had the idea, just took one asshole to
Just
find the
one
right
guy.
people to put money into
That's
it.
right, to actually make it work. So with that said, man, thank you officially on
Oh,
air.
thank you for
It means a
everything,
lot
buddy.
to me. Yeah.
You've been awesome.
Well, instead of me explaining to the audience who you are, how about you take a few seconds to kind of take people down the quick road of where you come from, what town you were born in.
Yeah.
You're from Vegas originally, right?
Yeah, born and raised.
Born and raised.
It's
Are you a
interesting.
gambling addict? That's my first question.
No, I mean that's what's weird is
I know, I have so many questions for Mike. Like, every time we talk about him growing up in Vegas, it's just like, what was that like?
it's weird because it's a big city, but it's a big city that runs like a small town.
Right.
So like even though like we
And
have
it's a real town.
yeah.
There's actual people doing
Yeah.
actual things. It's
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not just
gambling and...
it's not just what's going down on the strip. There's
Right.
lots of things going on. But yeah, I mean, growing up there I enjoyed it. I don't think I got to experience the same thing most kids do living in other parts of the world.
Like instead of building tree forts, you were burlesque dancing? Is that what you
I
did?
mean, instead of building, no, I did cardboard box castles.
Really?
That thing for a while, but
Do you mean
we didn't have trees
Because it's the fucking desert.
yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't get to experience any seasons.
Right.
I mean, it was either really
Concrete or desert.
yeah, it was really hot, or it was just like
Mildly hot.
it was mildly hot. I mean, it would get cold. Like we just get shitty cold wind.
Desert cold, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I as a kid, I lived in Coachella Valley, in
Yeah.
a little city called La Quinta, which is right outside Palm Desert.
It sounds exotic.
Yeah, and like it's the same thing. It's like 120 degrees in the summer, literally,
Yeah.
and then in the winter, it's like 60 degrees. And
Yeah,
then at
like,
night,
you can
maybe gets to
enjoy-
50.
You can enjoy being outside during the winter,
Right.
probably a lot more than what other people's winter is.
Sure.
But I mean, it's like, yeah, I mean, it's very convenient. You have 24-hour everything.
Right.
You pretty much can have anything you want at any time.
So drinking in public is not just for the strip? Can you actually do that in the whole state?
Yeah, I mean, they're getting a little bit weird about it now, though.
I'm moving.
Yeah, and prostitution's legal there too, right? Ish.
it
Sort of, kinda.
it sort of kind of is. They're kind of vague on, like, you have to be like with an escort service kind of
Right.
thing. You can't just
Yeah.
It's not
I mean, there's
just-
still regulations on it.
yeah.
Just like the way pot is, quote, legal here, but you can't just roll around smoking pot anywhere at any
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
You can't?
Oh, yes, you can.
Yeah, I thought you could. I thought that was
Well, no, I thought.
Andrew's like, you can and you should.
Well, I mean, I thought there was some stipulation to
No,
how.
they treat it just like drinking. You
Yeah.
can't walk down the freeway with a beer in your hand. And
Yeah.
You can't obviously drink and drive. You can't.
So
yeah,
this is
whatever.
why I want to go to Japan, because you can drink in public in Japan.
Yeah, you can in a lot of places in Europe too.
Yeah.
Damn.
Most places, it's fine. It's
It
just.
should be fine. It
I mean,
makes
with
no
Vegas,
sense.
they're starting to cut back on it a little bit because there's always some bum who gets too drunk and
Sure.
tries to fight people.
It's a
and then-
unique place.
And then,
I mean,
like,
yeah.
and then 10 metro cops have to, like, come and take them down. And I think they're just tired of dealing with that
Now, what
stuff.
was the music scene like there growing up?
I would assume good.
So,
I mean, there's so many bands from
it
there.
was like, it was weird. It was really up at one point, and then I feel like after
You left.
no, well, yeah, but no. We had a really good music scene for a long time. I think when it was like actually good everywhere else for the most part, like we had a really good hardcore scene, like pop
Yeah.
bands, like we had a lot of pop bands come out of there, like like the Cab and
The Cab's
I'm
from
like
there? I love
yeah,
Killers.
Cab's from Vegas.
Oh
Aren't the
my
Killers
God.
from Vegas?
Killers are from Vegas.
Right.
Yeah, so we really did have a thriving scene for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
and then it just, I think when, like, around that 07, 08 period, I don't know what happened, but I think when music scenes started to kind of take a dive because promoters started doing that weird pay-to-play thing.
That kind of happened everywhere.
Well, that's what happened. That happened everywhere, and then a lot of bands that weren't good just started buying their tickets out.
Right.
And then, like, people, like, just stopped kind of going to shows because they would do this pay-to-play thing. The bands who were, you know, buying out their tickets were only having, like, 10, 20 kids come to the show, and it was just kind of pointless.
Yep.
And then, like, it just kind of ruined the whole hierarchy, and then, like, yeah, and it's, like, I think that just spread across the entire country and stuff. And, so that kind of happened. Things really took a dip for a while, and then I feel like it wasn't until like the last few years things started to grow a lot better, because there was a point where like we did finally have like a stable venue that was outside of Clark County's control that they couldn't shut down, because that was part of the other problem was like Clark County didn't want a music scene. They didn't they didn't want a local music scene, so like anytime a small venue popped up, it would only have like a run.
Why do you think that is? Just because?
Because they
big entertainment. They want MGM to do well, and they want
and it was also
the riffraff.
Well, it was also because if the venue didn't have a liquor license, it was just more reason for them to shut it down, because they'll leave venues alone if they actually have bars, because they'll make more money.
They make money off.
So Andrew just pulled up all the bands from Vegas.
Wow.
And
Panic at the Disco.
Yeah,
the
Imagine
Hire.
Dragons.
I forgot about that.
Cab Falling in
Slaughter.
Reverse. Who?
Slaughter.
Jeez.
Falling in Reverse.
Five
makes
Finger
sense.
Death Punches from there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
they
yes
recorded
and no.
there.
Some of those dudes are from LA, but then like
The Marionette, obviously.
Yeah.
That's a Mike band.
Molotov Solution.
So who are some of the bands you worked with from Vegas? Marionette.
Yeah, pretty much that's it.
That's
oh,
it?
Oh,
Well,
I mean
no.
on that
No,
list.
not on that
Yeah.
list, but just in general.
Yeah, Marionette, Distinguisher, Friend of Foe.
Right. They're doing well.
Yeah,
just got
things are starting to look up.
Pinup artist management or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
they're starting to look up a lot more for
Dude,
them.
I love that band.
Yeah, they're a red band.
Andrew, you might like that band.
Who is it?
They're called A Friend, A Foe. They're a band that Mike produced and has worked with a few times. But like,
I mean, I've been working with those dudes since
Forever.
they were kids.
but like, some of their stuff is like probably the most honest, like, I want like nod to Deftones. I want to say, like, it's not like it doesn't necessarily sound like Deftones always, but it reminds me of that same kind of like energy, where it's really loosely put together and it's about to fall off at any point, but then it never does, and I don't know.
Yeah,
it's that same kind of thing.
they've just really homed in on like being, instead of falling into the generic metalcore thing. I've always managed to steer them to staying kind of more of a being themselves.
They just have a lot. They have a ton of style, I guess. Is what I mean.
Yeah,
They're
there
just
isn't
super
really.
stylish.
I mean, I always
The singer's super
it's
cool
just,
and charismatic.
yeah, I mean, the singer kind of has that.
You know what I mean? Like that
Yeah.
kind of chino thing. It's sort of that
Yeah.
kind of swagger thing. I don't know. I
Yeah,
like it a
no,
lot.
they
Swag.
they try to. Yeah, they listen to a lot of bands, and they always do what sounds cool and what sounds best for the song.
They play guitars and bass.
They play
and
guitars
drums
and bass and drums.
They write.
They
They
do some
dabble.
singing.
They dabble in songwriting.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're
What are you drinking over there, Neil?
It is a whiskey water.
I mean, that looks like
Watered
a
down
flower.
whiskey?
It
It
looks
is.
like you're drinking whiskey out of a flower vase. Like
It is. No, it
It's
is.
a flower vase.
So this is a flower vase that
That's
we converted
aggressive.
into a cup. I, mean,
Okay.
I didn't fill the whole goddamn thing.
Yeah. Okay. That's pretty awesome.
No, I mean I gotta speak.
Pussy.
But no, like I woke up feeling sick
Empty
today,
a
so I
bottle.
needed some sort of cough syrup to like.
Yeah.
Oh, that is.
Well, I get it.
That is a
That'll
wonderful
do.
remedy.
Nope.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So when do you leave Vegas? When do you come up here? Tell people when you started work with people.
I'm kind of interested,
Like-
a little bit before that too. Like,
Yeah,
how did
well-
you start recording bands?
So
start
I think
there.
it was about 17, 18.
The year 1718.
Year 1718.
Mike started to track bands. People wearing pantaloons.
I was recording in a teepee with a few Indians.
Yeah, like
It was prior to
I was
America.
about 17. I was still like I was like barely getting out of high school, and like what bands I had been involved with. Like there was a band I was good friends with back home named Eyes Like Diamonds, and yeah, actually Crummett did their last record. It's one of my faves from him. But anyway, yeah, they would. I
was interning with him on that record, actually.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
Yep.
No, so yeah, those dudes. Yeah, so like
I think I tuned the drums, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway,
some good sounding drums.
Thanks.
I love the way the drums sound.
Oh, you're no. I want to be inside you.
Oof, maybe later, buddy.
Sorry. Anyway.
Yeah, so like I like my first like real like recording studio. I wasn't like in the band. I was kind of just hanging out with them and stuff. And yeah, it was like my first time in a real recording studio back home. It was called Tone Factory. And yeah, it was just commercial facility type place. And board. They had, I don't even remember what board they were running. Just board, lots of outboard gear, lots of cool amps and shit. So it was like, oh, I thought this was really cool and stuff.
Fancy.
And then yeah, and then even after getting out of high school, I was kind of like, even though probably throughout high school I was like, yeah, the band thing should work out. And then by the time I got out of high school, I was like, maybe not. As much as I'd love to do this, maybe recording bands would be cooler. And then yeah, I kind of just started like anybody else. I just had some shitty like 2-input interface kind of thing. And then
But did you go to school for any of this?
I didn't go to school
I thought you did.
Well, no, I did. I didn't go into school right away.
Oh, okay.
I kind of just like went into recording, not really knowing anything. I had interned under various people, but it was like, they were never not doing like what I was doing. Like it was a lot more R&B and hip hop stuff.
Right.
Since usually a lot more commercial studios, that was the only way they stayed afloat. And whatnot. And
especially in 1718.
And especially in 1718.
Because hip-hop was huge in 1718.
Back in the colonies.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and so, yeah, and then, just eventually parents wanted me to start going to college. And then I did a semester of college, didn't really care for it. And then they were like...
Well, you're destined to fail.
Well, you're destined to fail, But, yeah, and then, like, I ended up going to a trade school in Arizona, basically, to
The
make them
conservatory, right?
Yes, the
That's
conservatory.
That's my rival school.
You're right, yeah,
Yeah.
dude, they talk so much shit on you guys.
Oh, I know.
It's
We
funny.
talk shit about you, too.
I bet it happened on both sides, yeah.
Is this between Full Sail? I assume?
Full
Yeah,
Sail
oh,
and
yeah.
conservatory.
Granted, my school wasn't... Wait, how much was Full Sail?
Let's not talk about it.
'Cause mine was...
No, yours was way cheaper.
Oh, yeah. I think we cost like a third.
Now it's probably even less.
No,
than that.
it has gone up
Well,
drastically.
but Full Sails has gone up.
Oh, I'm sure everybody's
Yeah.
is, because they know...
They do a bachelor's now instead of an associate.
Everybody's... The credit line's going up. Dude, today... yesterday, my credit line on my card went up to like $15,000.
What?
It's shooting up, dude.
What
like,
card is that? I want that card.
It's just my American Express card. It's the card I got. So
Oh, you're one of those assholes.
Yeah.
American Express.
Hey, dude, I qualified. It was how I got my TG2. So, but yeah. Anyway, back to staying on track. But yeah, I went to school for 9 months. Wasn't too bad. It was like 8 or 9 months, and then after that, that's when I finally had the school hit up Crummett. And
Oh, they did it for you?
yeah.
Oh, you guys are pampered.
Oh yeah.
So we had to do the work ourselves.
Yeah. I mean, they kind of had this thing where it was like list, all the potential places you want to go to, because obviously, you may not get the guy you want to go to.
Right.
And I was pretty adamant about going to Chris. And I mean, because it was like,
Because he's so hot.
I mean, so nah. I mean, it was like, there was a lot of other places, and there were some cool studios in Oregon I'd looked at, but I didn't know anything about them.
Yeah.
I didn't know any of the records, so one way or the other, I'm happy it all worked out.
Yeah.
And then, I was able to make the move up here thanks to my parents for helping me out. And then spent a couple months interning under Crummett and Stephen Hawks. And, I just had a really great rapport with all of them. And then, all stayed in touch. I sent some record. I sent some stuff to Chris to mix, and same thing with Steph. And then because after I'd interned, I had moved back to Vegas and stayed there for a while. And then
This was 1720 when you moved up here?
This was 1720.
Yeah.
No. So this was probably about. I mean, I did my interning.
Because I had gone. By
Yeah,
that
you
point.
had left. You had moved to
North Carolina.
Yeah,
at that
you
point.
had moved by that point. So I had done because I went to school 2011. I did my internship that summer of 2011. I moved back home, and then it was like beginning of 2013. I moved back with my buddy, with Nate. And then
Back to Portland.
And then I had stayed here for a few months trying to kind of figure out, a more steady situation, but then it just didn't really work out, and I ended up moving back, unfortunately. Well, actually, no. I moved to Stockton, California for
I didn't
a few
know that.
months. Well, no, so this band, the band Blood Pig, was those were the dudes.
So good.
Yeah, I love that record.
Might be one of my favorite stuff you've ever done.
Oh yeah, it's hands down. That's like if I could.
They
do
broke up, right?
Yeah, their
Fuck's
last show was a few
God
weeks
damn
ago,
it.
which was a bummer.
The pig
'cause-
ran out of blood.
Huh?
They had to break up. The pig ran out of blood.
It
Oh,
ran
they
out
were
of blood.
so cool.
So-
Exactly what I mean.
Oh no, it
they
was.
just didn't fuck around.
Oh no, it was. They were. That was definitely one of the best experiences I'll always remember, because it was like I got to live.
Stay in touch with that bass player, right? Isn't he doing other stuff?
I don't know actually. I've never.
He'd mentioned to me he'd started another band.
Yeah,
but-
everybody's in.
Right.
If you never met him, how did you work with him?
What's
What-
that?
How did you work with him if you never met the guy?
He wasn't in the band
He
Oh,
wasn't in
gotcha.
the band at that point. Yeah.
at the time, and so.
I was gonna say I caught you in a lie, motherfucker.
But I mean.
This is the Gotcha podcast.
The
We'll catch
Gotcha!
people in
Then they
What's that one
print
show?
out all the facts.
To catch a pedophile. That's
Yeah.
what this actually is.
It's just a
They
weird,
bring the
disarming
video up on
podcast.
the TV
Chris
screen.
Hansen walks in.
Yeah.
So Mike, what's screen name? No.
But
For something that no one cares about either. Nothing at risk. Anyway, go ahead.
But anyway,
Go ahead.
So they were a band that I had like hit up before through another mutual friend, and it was kind of like I didn't want to move back home, and he was kind of like, well, since we were gonna want to do a record with you anyway, why don't you just like stay here rent free, until it's just like done. And I'm like, cool. I was kind of a nomad at that point.
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
I didn't really care.
Just getting
So
work.
you did the record for like free rent? Or did you-
Basically,
or-
yeah.
Oh wow.
But I got
Cool.
to work. But it was like it was one of those dragged out things where like there was no rush on it. They weren't trying to tour, or get signed. It was just like making the record everybody wanted to make and take
Right.
as much time on it, kind of thing. And so, and so it was just kind of like it was just a real cool experience. Just I got to stay with them, track with them for like, if there was a new song we wanted to put in the batch, we would just start tracking drums for it and figure the rest out later, kind of thing. And it was just like if I could do every record that way, where I could spend like 3 months on it,
Yeah.
like that's the way I would always do it.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Unfortunately, time, money, and scheduling.
20 days.
Yeah,
There is a
it's-
downside to that.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it goes both ways. But
It goes both ways. I mean, it's like but I feel like that's also why people aren't putting out records that have sustainability anymore, just because it's like, yeah, you used to get 3 months to, however long to
yeah.
do it and really take your time on it. And it wasn't always because artists being lazy or anything. It was just like there was just, Used to have
Yeah.
you used to have 20, 30
Like
people.
back in the 90s. I mean,
Yeah.
there was a whole staff.
Yeah, and like, if like they weren't getting it right then and there, I mean, granted, still, we did editing and cheated some things, but sometimes they would make people take longer on
But
stuff.
you have a good point, Neil. Like, on the way over here, I was listening to the Nerdist podcast with Chris Hardwick, and he was talking to a guy named Jason Blum. Jason Blum owns Blumhouse Productions, and they do all the most recent badass horror movies like Get Out, I'm drawing a blank. Right? They did like The Purge, and
I've never heard of fucking drawing a blank.
basically every recent horror movie you've seen, he produced.
Yeah.
And their team produced. And anyway, they're known for doing like smaller production stuff. So it's not like, $100 million to do a new Marvel movie. No, it's like stripped down. So anyway, the constraint of like doing it in a reasonable amount of time and not a whole lot of money is what is producing all these great, honest movies.
Yeah.
And so it's like there is something to be said for that, but at the same time, you can't be expected to deliver these amazing records, and these bands expect the 90s.
Yeah.
They expect Tool, Inema.
And what they don't realize is that in that era, like you were talking about, there was a team.
There was
of
a
like
team.
50 people working on it.
So
Yeah.
it wasn't just the producer wasn't doing everything. He wasn't engineering. He was just
Playing
the one
poker
calling.
in the back, saying, "Yeah, that's cool."
Yeah, he was just taking. Yeah, he was just making the shots and making sure everything ran on time and fit fit the budget and everything.
Well, then what are your sort of thoughts on that? Because that's actually one of the things I want to ask you is like, how do you see someone, not just you, but any producer, like what's the role of a producer today in 2017? That's something I like to ask everyone because everyone sort of has a different take on it.
Yeah.
Stefan's going to give you a different version.
Yeah.
Chris might tell you a different thing, right? And it's something that I'm pretty obsessed with. We talk about it all the time here.
Yeah,
Me and Neil have that conversation all the time.
It's an interesting thing because it gets thrown around a lot and misused.
Yeah.
But it's like...
This is a guy who makes beats.
Yeah, it's like...
Right, I'm a producer. It's like, no, just because you put on Instagram
That's not and it's... There, I guess to me, a producer is just supposed to take, whatever an artist or a band brings it and make sure it's the best version of what the band wants and what the audience should want to hear.
So then let me add an additional question to that, like string on. Then like how does someone, not just like the definition of a producer, but how do you sort of separate yourself from all the other guys out there? I mean, in other words, if there were a band that came to you and is like, well, look, our guitar player's got a Pro Tools rig and we got a bunch of mics and like we're gonna track it, and then like what's the argument to have someone trained and
because when you're a band and you're tracking yourself, you only have your ears. You don't have another guy telling you, a producer sometimes is there to just tell an artist the obvious
right
that is not obvious to them.
So basically, it's like the answer to that question has never changed. That's always been the case.
Yeah.
Just because that's a good point. So basically, just because the technology is caught up to this game, that doesn't change anything.
Yeah.
It's still the same goddamn thing.
Yeah. I mean, some people could be competent enough to do it themselves and know what they want.
Yeah, you've talked about that too.
And know what is required for it to,
Like if a band can pull that off, then cool.
Yeah.
Like more power to you.
Yeah, I mean, and that sort of things happen. I mean,
they
it's
can
like
track
that,
it.
What was Billy Howardell did? He tracked all the Perfect Circle stuff.
But so with that
to a degree.
To a degree.
Yeah.
But so if there's a band out there that can track their full length record, and actually they caught the moment well, they actually self-produced in an actual productive way. Do you still think that they should send it off to get mixed?
I mean,
if someone in the
yeah, I mean, that always every circumstance is different, and always
sure,
if they're if it's like, to me, it's like if you have a guy in the band who does this for a living, sure, why not?
Right.
But if they understand how everything works well enough, and they know they can get there without turning it into a being on the 20th revision because this one thing isn't right, then yeah, sure, it's like, why not, you know? I mean, and honestly, sometimes that's fine.
Right.
Because some guys can do a pretty decent job, and then, like, I mean, you know, even with Stefan, I mean, it's like, dude, sometimes Steph gets mixes that are just like, you know, very underwhelming, very soft, like, it's like, there's a vibe to it that's there because it wasn't being done by somebody who's quote-unquote a professional, but, you know,
Yeah.
but when he masters it up, dude, I mean, he, like, some of the things he does will make you think, like, oh, this person who, you know, mixed this, they knew what they were doing.
Right.
You know. And
Right.
so,
That's interesting.
not that I'm saying that people should depend on the mastering engineer
No, I
to
think,
fix your mix.
no, I think you're actually proving the point even more.
Yeah.
That someone like Stefan is an
Yeah.
actual tradesman.
Yeah.
When he was on the podcast, we talked about this ad nauseum. You know, like, I think we use example just because, like, it's the equivalent to someone looking up how to change a carburetor or something on YouTube or whatever, like how to do anything that's sort of complicated. Just because it's there, just because education is there, that doesn't replace for the experience.
Yeah.
You still need a fucking mechanic.
Well, you
still need a professional,
when I get asked this question
or
by
a plumber
bands,
or whatever.
yeah,
it is.
well, the way I describe it is like what we were talking about earlier. Like in the 90s, they had a team of people, and that's why those records sound so cool, because they had so many different ears and so many different brains. And so, like, for example, if I were to ever write music and release it again, I wouldn't do my own shit. Like, I might track some stuff, but I would give it to somebody else.
That's
because
really interesting.
The whole idea is to get another brain, another perspective, another take on it.
Sure.
Like that's the whole point. Like even like I know a lot of dudes who are really 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 good at tracking, but they still but they send me everything to mix it because they just like the other perspective on it, you know, because I might think of something they didn't think of, and vice versa.
Yeah, I think it just depends on the person. Depends on the person, the project, like you said, Mike. I mean, it's all project specific, and there's no golden rule.
'Cause at the end of the
I mean,
day-
you did your whole record. You did the entire thing.
And I mean, I had to have Steph help me dial that in a little bit more.
There you go. Exactly.
There you go.
So,
Yeah.
granted, I was a little bit more on the time crunch, so I needed
Yeah.
him to do it.
Right.
So, but it was like, but I mean, it was, if had I not had him do it, like, it probably would not have come out as
No.
good on a time crunch as I wanted it to.
Well, the
Yeah.
other thing too is if you're tracking yourself, you've been listening. Like you deal with this all the time, probably. Like
Yeah.
just by tracking and producing a record, after a while, you start to get desensitized to it because you've been listening to it every day for like a month or 2 months, and so. Yeah, and so like, especially if you're writing it and demoing and then going on to tracking and mixing, and like, there's a lot of things you're probably missing that you don't even know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, you know, like I'll do a record up, and then 6 months later I'll listen to it and be like, whoa, you know, why didn't I catch that? Or holy shit, that's actually really cool. Why didn't I think that was cool in the tracking phase? You know what? And there's just little things like that like time away from it. You know, the fresh years.
Right.
And that's why you hire other people too.
Yeah. No, and I think
Because they're fresh,
and ultimately that
unbiased.
Yeah, and you know, and I think for people who are in a position to, you know, be able to find, it's like it's also hard for a lot of people to find dependable engineers too, because it seems like people have no frame of reference on who they go to either. So, you know, because sometimes they may have done that route and it didn't turn out well.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that doesn't mean that all
That's a good
producers
point.
are bad.
No,
A lot
no.
of- like what bands don't seem to understand is when they do that and they try it, they fork out a lot of money, it didn't work out. It just means that one brain on your project is not what you're going for.
I know, and that's
Like,
what I'm saying is
yeah.
like, but that one time that like just
And it
for
ruins
some
their whole
dudes that just
perspective.
ruins it. And they're like,
Yeah.
I'm never gonna do that again.
No, we're not all the same. We're all
Yeah.
creative people. You know,
Yeah.
It's, you know, like I've actually turned down work in the past just because I don't think I'm the correct brain. Like I think the music's rad, I think the band's rad, they're good people, but it's just like, yo, let me recommend you to somebody else.
See,
they're
that's
more
and that
opt
and
to, you know, kill it.
then not all people are willing to do that, Neil. I mean, some guys are just like, I just want the work. I'll just do it, you know.
Yeah.
But
But that doesn't help anybody.
it doesn't
in the
help
end.
anyone, and it's really
Yeah.
terrible karma for you as a professional guy. You know, like Ryan and I were talking about a band the other day, and the more we talked about it, you just like, you know, look, if it doesn't work out or we can't figure things out, you know, like it may just be a better thing for me to send it to someone else. And like that kind of attitude is super fucking key, and it's really good karma to have.
Yeah.
Because I mean, at the end of the day, it's not gonna serve you or the client or the artist, as it were, to do something that you're not a good fit for.
Yeah, there's a couple records that I've done that I've like done top to bottom for people, and I realized like something is just missing, and so I've hit up like Ryan Lewis.
You're like, I'm
I'm
that
like,
person. I mean, it's fine. Yeah.
I need some fucking slide fucking
Yeah.
guitar on this, or I
Right.
need some lap steel on
Yeah.
this, and I sent it to Ryan. He just comes in with a fresh new perspective
Yep.
on it, and he puts shit on it, and it sounds fucking awesome. Like I'll eat a little bit of money, but in the end, the record is fucking rad. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And
Did I tell
and
you
that's-
that Ryan's gonna be on in November?
No,
Yeah, he'll be in town.
I just got so excited.
Yes.
Yep, in
Oh
in
my
the
God.
studio.
I bet
in
he's got
purpose.
some stories.
Oh
Fuck
yeah,
he does, man.
It's gonna be a good one. That's gonna be a hot pod.
Yeah, he's
it's gonna be a hot.
he's a
pocket.
hot guy too. Piercing blue eyes.
Oh, he's a good looking man.
He's a good looking
He
man.
is. Oh my god, Ryan is the man's man. He's
Give it
just
time,
nice.
He really is.
Yeah.
Now we just all sucked Ryan's dick for a while.
I know, right?
Well,
Gobble, gobble.
Do me a favor, Mike. Give me like, because I think I know, but I think it'd be interesting for other people to hear. What are some of the favorite projects you've worked on? I know you can't choose a favorite kid, but like, what are the ones that you're just kind of proud of for whatever reason? Whether it's like you had to go to battle and it just the experience in itself took forever, and you
Well,
just,
yeah. Well, I mean, it's
or
like-
just sonically it turned out rad. Like, what are a few projects that stand out?
yeah, like we said before, Blood Pig was a really cool record. Granted,
I would agree.
You know, that nothing. You know, there wasn't a success to it. There was just that
The
was
success is that you did it and it
Yeah,
happened. Right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah, and there was, but I mean, that's like a record. I'll always like, you know, I'll always be proud of doing that thing.
It's just so raw.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
had all the right things and all the right dudes.
That kind of record and that kind of band is like sometimes bands don't even know their own identity.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have to search and search and search, like, what are we?
Yeah.
What's our brand? Then I don't know, man. You might want to like hit a refresh
Yeah.
because it should be apparent. And I think for a band like that, it's like, oh, this is what we are.
Yeah,
Like, it's just fucking rad.
yeah. I mean, and that's like they don't take
They're
themselves
dangerous.
too seriously.
They're kind of funny. Their videos are pretty cool.
Yeah, they're goofy dudes, but like they, you know,
Blood Pig, for fuck's sake.
yeah,
It's a great name. Should tell you everything.
yeah.
I'm just hungry now. I just want,
I keep hearing that.
Like, I just
Yeah.
want some bacon. For some
I just
reason.
want some blood infused pork. That's what I want right now.
What else? Like,
I'm
for
really
any other reasons?
I mean, the Distinguisher record, which came out earlier this year.
Fuck yeah.
That's probably been one of my proudest records.
They're touring with Extortionist and
Mother Sound.
Mother Sound, which you will be producing in December.
Yeah.
Everyone go listen to those two bands.
I'm really stoked for that one.
Yeah, Mike and I were flirting with Mother Sound for like a year?
Yeah.
For about a year?
I mean, it was
Ish.
ish. I mean, it was like we hit him up a year ago.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
And then
not
it-
in totality,
and
but
then
yeah.
it came back. Yeah.
But it started a long time ago, and I talked to those guys a lot.
Yeah. Well,
How-
I mean,
was the sex good?
The sex was real good.
sex was real good.
Excellent.
No, it's just one of those things where like you talk to a band over, and it's no one's fault, just the wrong time. They were touring a lot,
Yeah.
but they finally dropped us a line, and
Yeah.
they're like, "Now's the
their
time.
pants.
We want Mike to do it.
Yeah. I mean,
9 songs, man. We can do a full length with you."
Oh yeah, no, I'm really stoked on
Me
that
too.
one. It's a band
Me too.
I know I can just nail, but
They're also nice too,
yeah,
from what I can tell.
yeah. I mean, at least the drummer so far.
Yeah.
I'm hoping the rest of the guys aren't a bunch of.
If you're
dickbags.
listening, show up.
No, something tells
Me.
me I have a feeling because the guitar player is like I think he's a teacher
Oh wow,
or whatever, so he's got to be.
it's got to be a kind guy.
He's got to be a kind guy.
Well, I mean, you can teach math or you can teach coke dealing.
yeah.
So
You know,
it
he's
all
got to
depends.
deal with a bunch of shithead kids. So he's got to have a
What kind of
tremendous amount
teacher?
patience.
Yeah.
But yeah. Either way,
Cool.
it's gonna be a good time. But,
Yeah.
Distinguisher was a really fun thing. That was just a total month of just duding it up.
Sure.
Did you do any of the marionette stuff?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Fuck yeah.
the
With stuff.
the most recent one is probably my favorite one out of the batch.
Oh yeah.
Because the band finally got to like
The one that they're doing.
No.
Oh, the last one.
The last
The
record.
you produced.
Repeating
Yeah.
History.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I mean, what's that one song, Mike? That's like it's a little bit. It's not acoustic or anything, but it's the kind of polished, like softer one.
It does have acoustic guitar. Or it does.
I don't think it does, but it's like way softer.
I'm trying
It's
to
the
think.
last one we shared.
Oh. Yeah, that one was.
I'm thinking of the tune.
Sing it, James. Beautiful.
I can't think It's so hard to remember any of their songs because I've literally tracked probably over.
It's like
40 or 50 of their songs.
all I have, or
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
is that right? All I have.
Actually, if you look it up real fast.
Yeah. Type in a marionette. Just rolls off the tongue, Andrew. Good luck spelling that one.
You're
A.
backspace.
Yeah,
Backspace.
close enough.
Scratch that. Start from.
And then add an A.
Add an A.
And then
R.
R.
ION.
ETTE.
ETTE.
There you go.
You got it.
There we go.
Marionette. Do all I have. Or no, is it Inner
I
Bones?
think it is Inner Bones.
I think it's Inner Bones.
Actually, yeah.
Yep.
Play that one?
Yeah, play that shite.
We'll
Well,
see
we're
how
not
many
gonna be able to
views
hear
it
it
has
though.
and judge
Oh,
Mike.
we can't?
I could do it from my little thing.
It's okay.
But
Either
anyway,
way.
I think that's the one. And so anyway, that song turned out super cool.
Yeah, I mean, it was, that was probably the quickest record I had ever tracked.
Really?
Really?
Oh, dude, we literally did that in like 14 days.
How many songs?
Like 14 songs.
No, a song
Really?
a day.
Yeah, we did.
Was that all up here?
Yeah, we did.
Fuck.
We did the drums in like 1.5 days. The bass was done in a day. Guitars was barely 3 days. And then Quinn was just like, it was just a week with Quinn. And yeah, I don't think I've ever tracked like a full length, like of that many songs that fast.
Oh, I guess it does have acoustic.
Yeah.
It starts with acoustic, actually.
Oh, it very much has acoustic. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that song.
Yeah, his voice is crazy.
The song has some kind of Smashing Pumpkins vibe to it that I
Totally.
don't think was on purpose. I think that's just how it came out. Yeah,
That's so crazy.
I love this song. Yeah, Quinn is the prime example of church singing boys.
Right.
They out sing everybody.
Yeah.
Flat out.
We'll
Even
play
one
that
of my
song
favorite
again.
moments from recording that record was there was the song that we basically had to like do this group vocal thing that was just like a choir vocal thing that was just him, and we did it, and I was amazed and how because he literally did we did like 4 takes, we did like 4 tracks of like 5 different things going on. And it just sounds like a soul choir singing. It's all done from him. And it's pretty ridiculous. And
Yeah, he's because I think some singers and bands they just figure it out.
Yeah.
Like some drummers. There's drummers who just like I had a position to fill, I drum in this band.
Yeah.
But they're not like natural drummers. They're
Yeah.
not Dave Grohl, right?
yeah.
And I think guys like him are the example of like a natural singer.
Oh yeah.
You just can't make up for it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously training came into it, like you said, church choir stuff, and
I mean, dude,
so
that's
it's not to say he
he
didn't work hard to get there. But
No,
like,
no. I mean,
there are some voices. I think Draper has a natural voice.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Like, there's nothing I could ever do, no matter how hard I worked. At vocal
None
lessons,
of us can sound as cool
you
as
can't
Draper.
sound as cool, man. It's just not gonna
He's
happen.
got that thing. That's,
Yep.
He and what I love
barely
about
even
Draper's
tried.
style is he always figures out melodies that are like so like they're like obvious simple melodies, but like
They're hooks that are in between the obvious.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like you can't just like you're like why couldn't I think of that? That's so
I know,
cool.
and it's so like, oh, it was there the whole time.
yeah,
Yeah.
and he always does it, even with that.
It's because he's a pop music fanboy. Like
Yeah.
he loves all 80s
you
music.
have,
and
you
like,
have to be if
Yeah.
you're gonna be cranking those out all the time. So.
What about Chelsea Grin was something that you and Steph both did, right?
Yeah.
What was your whole role in that again?
So I tracked.
I know. I just want you to say it to the audience.
I did all the guitar tracking. I worked on a lot of production elements, and
Yeah.
I did a lot of the. There was some assistant mixing in there. It was like,
Nice.
I mean, Steph still did all the,
The big dick stuff.
He did the big dig stuff. I did I shouldn't say I really didn't.
You did like the medium dick
Can we
stuff.
change all my credits to the big dick stuff?
It's up to you, bro. It's your career.
But
As your manager, I recommend that you do that.
the big dick stuff.
Yeah.
yeah,
But I mean, that's a big one. It's
it was a pretty cool experience.
for
It was my
sure.
first big label thing, and then it was. I'm really happy we had that experience. I mean, it was because we had done me and him had basically tag teamed like a mix, test mix thing, and it was just we really went all in on it, and
Yeah.
That was another one that got tracked really quickly. I remember how long you told me it took, and I was actually really surprised.
Well,
about
so
how
because
short
the
it
thing with that was because we didn't track the vocals. The AK had tracked all the stuff in his hometown, so
That's right.
so Steph probably did a week of drums, and then it was probably 2 weeks of me doing guitars, and it was just a lot of guitar. I mean, I think we had tracked 14 songs, and we had done, and it's low tune stuff, so it always takes a little bit more time. So we would have to change strings out every 3 songs or so, reintonate stuff, and then or just certain days we did as much guitar tracking as we wanted to do, and then maybe just worked on production stuff or going back and working on some things we probably could have nailed better, and then and so dudes are rad. It was a whole lot of duding it up those couple weeks. Yeah,
That's cool.
Because you were living with them too, because they were crashing at the studio while you were still living.
Well, no, they did have a hotel right down the street that they would stay at, but if there was nights where Speeve and Pablo and I were up late, they would just crash at the studio. Because pretty much every morning we were getting pint stained.
Dude, so forgive me, but the drummer's name?
Pablo.
Dude, Pablo, I saw him.
He's
I
a
saw
beast.
Chelsea Grin for the first time, not this Warped Tour, but last year's Warped Tour.
Yeah.
The dude is fucking insane.
Pablo is a fucking machine.
Dude,
that
and
dude.
yeah, he just fucking slays it. I was so impressed by him.
Yeah, no.
Because he does a lot of vocals live too.
Yeah, he does a lot of the low screams and
And
stuff.
he's still just fucking kicking ass.
Yeah, Pablo's a fucking maniac, dude. That dude, he's one of the most solid metal drummers I've ever. I mean, he not just metal. He honestly, the dude.
Well, 'cause
dude can groove and do whatever he wants.
Well, because at that Warped Tour, I was hanging out with the Issues guys.
Yeah.
And we were hanging out on the bus, and they made a point. Oh, Chelsea Grin's about to play. We have to go. And I'm like, oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I've never seen him. That's cool. But Josh, the drummer of Issues, made a point to go watch him. So we went and we just watched, and I was just like, what the fuck? This dude is just fucking insane.
Yeah,
He's an absolute maniac.
He's just really hard hitting. He he actually plays his blast beats correctly.
Yeah.
A little known fact: most metal drummers can't play blast beats correctly.
Yeah, just because you can move your 2 feet pretty fast doesn't mean.
Well,
you're-
it's like the
left hand.
that stuff. Yeah, where they're doing that, and a lot of guys can't match up. I mean, no one can perfectly get that stuff in time with the kick drum or whatever. But it's a lot of the off-time stuff where they have it's their ride, and it's weird to explain. It's their
No, I know what you're saying.
yeah, it's the ride and the kick will be on 1/32, and then the
Well, it's not.
the
It's
snare.
not just playing drums fast. I
Yeah.
mean, that's right. I mean, it's a whole style of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you have to be. You can't. It's very exhausting. You have to have really good technique and and that's the problem. Is a lot of guys who get into metal they don't just learn from basics, because Pablo wasn't a metal drummer coming into the band. He a lot of his old projects were just big pop punk type, pop rock projects and stuff. And I think from what I remember him telling me, he was like, yeah, he got more into it, got into more metal stuff, obviously, as he got older. And then I think by the time he got into Grin, that was when he was like, okay, I really got to really dial this stuff in and whatnot. And,
Yep.
But I mean, yeah, he's just like, he's just really solid. He he wants to always nail things. He doesn't like, he doesn't like to pussy out on anything.
Yeah.
And he's also really killer guitar player too. He
Really?
writes really.
Yeah, he writes.
He wrote some of the song, like a lot of the real heavy ones on the record.
Nice.
And because he
That's
actually
cool.
does do producing on the side back home. And yeah,
Cool.
dude's
So
rad, band's rad.
what are some of the other bands that what are some of the releases that are coming up? It should be Crown.
Yeah, that one I'm really, really, really stoked.
How do you
about. That came
pronounce it? Magnetar?
Magnetar.
It is Magnetar.
Oh,
Okay.
yes,
Crowd
yes,
Magnetar. They're fucking cool.
Magnetar.
I think I was saying
Such
Magnetar
nice guys,
for a
man.
while, but I knew that was
Oh,
wrong.
I was supposed to talk to Dan today on the phone.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
And you didn't?
Fucking space calling back.
Oh wow, you're fired.
I know.
Fired.
He
Out.
wanted to chat about some of the release stuff and
Oh, okay,
just what we're
sweet.
talking about. But yeah, Dan, if you're listening, this is probably after we've talked.
Yo.
Sorry.
Oh, you totally blew it, dude.
blew it, bro.
Yeah,
so
they already
that-
got that video. They're not wasting any time.
No, dude, that's what I love. That blue collar metal work ethic.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah.
So Soon the Truth
Yep.
got
The
signed to
record,
Cardigan Records.
They got that
They're
coming
finally
out
releasing
on
there.
what was it, December 3rd?
That sounds right.
Yeah. It's weird
Some-
that I actually remember the day.
Andrew, carry on. Can you go to Instagram and then type in "so soon, the truth"?
Wait for it. There it is.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, they're a band from Texas, I believe the Houston area.
Oh, December 1st.
December 1st. I was
wrong.
actually about to say first.
Yeah. I don't know why
Um,
I was thinking.
I think they're still touring right now, right?
Yeah, they're
still on the road.
I believe. Yeah.
Akaria, an author, a poet, So Soon the Truth.
Really, really rad bands.
Yeah, all good bands. That Texas scene, boy, I tell you.
Oh, Texas bands rule.
They rule.
I mean, one of my favorite hardcore bands, Kubla Khan, they're
Yep.
they just came out with a new record. I mean, even my buddy Josh, the guitar player from Distinguisher, he's just like, Texas should just be a genre of itself.
There's so many
when you're on
bands from
tour, it's its own demographic. That's for
It's
sure.
a giant
You
state.
tour the East Coast, the West Coast, and Texas.
And Texas.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and So Soon does it all the time.
Yeah.
They just run around Texas.
Yeah, this is
But
the first,
this is
like,
the first, yeah,
real
big run.
through outside.
They
of
deserve
Texas.
it.
Yeah, no, and they're getting good response.
You
and,
said they just got signed to Cardigan?
Just a little bit ago, yeah.
Nice.
I think it
months.
happened.
Another Raleigh label or North Carolina label, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, actually, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I think they are.
Because yeah, I first heard of them when I was helping Sean get Revival going.
Yeah.
I remember.
There's Mike. on
Look at
their
that
Instagram.
smug motherfucker. Look at that. Go to that. You're not even in your own room. You're in Stefan's.
I know, dude. Because he
Look at that.
because
So
he has
excited.
the Amphions in his room. He had all the. His
Well, look
room
how
looks-
long ago that
That's
was.
like stoic
That's
as fuck.
December 10th of
How many
2016.
likes did I get? Damn.
They posted that.
Oh, damn.
How many people like that? 173 people?
Yeah.
Not bad.
Mike, when did we do that one? It was January.
Yeah. It
Can
was
you
like
zoom in on that
January.
Oh my god.
That was it was beginning of January.
Yeah,
Because it
It's
was
a while
like
ago.
it was 2 days before the storm happened.
that's right. They were here like that giant snowstorm, right?
Because I'm trying to remember if we had gotten. We either got drums done right before the storm happened.
Well, I had to remember because, yeah, that's when my backpack got stolen.
Well, it was before your backpack getting stolen. Was before then. You got there.
Weren't
the
they
night-
here? It was like the night they arrived or something.
The night they got there, yes.
Yeah, because I went to go say hi to him, and
Yeah.
then yeah, that's right.
And then that dickhole.
Then me and Mike are running down the street chasing down some
Listen
asshole.
here, asshole.
We
If
know
you're
who
listening
you
to
are.
this, we will find you.
I have a unique set of skills. Yeah, but anyway, so they're releasing soon. Crown.
And that one, both those records.
Yeah.
I'm really, really happy with.
Me too.
So it's like there's more fulfillment. I don't know. I just always have. Lately, I've just been getting more fulfillment with the projects that have been like front to back, doing everything. Lately, I haven't really been getting that fulfillment with mixed projects.
Yeah.
Even though it's easier, faster, it's just, I don't know. Things always go more my way, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're good at it.
Well, no,
You're a good producer.
Because
Like,
sometimes I do get mixed projects that I'm like, damn, dude, I
Sweet.
wish I had tracks these good, kind of thing. Or I wish I could get tracks these good sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, it mixes really well. And then people are like, well, how did you get that, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, it had less to do with me.
Right. It was tracked really well.
Even, like, what was the Paramore record that Duder from Failure mixed?
Oh, Ken Andrews.
Yeah, even
I
Ken,
always forget that.
yeah, Ken
Andrews,
Andrews
do you
mixed
know
that
that?
one Paramore record, and he always
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah, and he's always like, like, these were just really good tracks.
I always
Yeah.
forget the Ken Andrews mix. Which one was that?
It was
Dakota or
Not the most
it
recent
was just
one.
self-titled. Yeah, that 2013 one.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's a
Yeah,
fucking giant record.
yeah.
God damn him. I wonder how much he got paid on that one.
Oh, who knows, dude? Who knows?
I wonder if he has management.
he probably. Well, hey, you never
Hey-
know.
hey, Ken
Maybe he
Andrews.
doesn't.
Mike, we're moving down the ladder.
Going down.
Hey, Ken Andrews, if you're listening,
Probably got major royalties on that one.
I'm a huge fan of Failure.
Yeah, seriously, dude. That's all you would need to tell him.
Yeah. No one's ever told him that before.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure most people who have told him that never listen. to
Mixing
Fantastic.
keyboards, backing vocals. Holy shit.
Oh yeah, because he's got like this tiny little cool
Badass.
like house in L.A. that.
Oh, that's
he's
right.
just crammed
Elon
into
Rubin
some-
Elon Rubin played drums on that record.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Andrew, that's our boy from
Yeah,
Nine Inch
he's
Nails.
a fucking beast.
That guy.
Dude.
Fucking
As much as
ridiculous,
I was
man.
bummed when
So
Josh
good.
Freese stopped drumming for Nine Inch Nails,
I
'cause
right there
I
with
was
you.
glad that they got that guy.
I know.
Yeah,
like if
yeah.
anyone was going to replace, like, thank God it was someone cool like him.
Yeah. Because I was just like, I mean, obviously I didn't expect them to get someone to drum exactly like him or whatever.
No,
but
you can't. I mean,
It came
Josh
out in
Freese.
2013.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
God.
It feels like it didn't come out that long ago.
No.
It's weird. And the new one just came out.
Well, and it was recorded in 2012.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That new record actually sounds really, really good.
It does. Yeah,
It's actually probably my
it's good.
probably my
Good
favorite
fucking
production
songs.
one.
Like,
So wait, so it was recorded April through June and then again in November?
yeah, I saw
they
that too.
probably split it up.
Split
or
it up,
something.
maybe touring. And
Yeah.
Justin Meldal Johnson. I'm a huge fan of him. Do you guys know who he is? That dude right there, Justin Meldal Johnson.
What else has he done?
Well, he
I know
played
yeah.
bass in Nine Inch Nails for a brief moment.
Oh,
Oh,
And-
that guy.
Yep,
from Beck.
he's works with Beck. I mean, look at that, Garbage, the
He's
Mars
from
Volta,
Eugene?
Dixie.
Oh,
He's
he's
a
from here.
beast.
Woo.
Oh, weird.
Pete Yorn,
Nice.
Goldfrapp, dude, I love that guy.
Yeah, he's
Division
pretty
Day,
fucking solid.
Andrew, Division Day.
Damn.
Remember Division Day?
I didn't know
That
this
band was
guy
cool.
was from
Blood
here. I
Orange.
totally because he
Neon
wasn't.
Tree. I mean,
He
he's
only toured
yeah,
with Nine Inch Nails. Yeah, he only did it for a year. Yeah.
yeah, he's got a rad career going on. He's a Scientologist, from what I hear.
Oh, what?
Fuck him. Give up on him.
No, it's like whatever
that Beck
whatever
connection?
Scientology shit they do to stay young.
Fucking 87.
You know, look at Tom Cruise, dude. He looks.
Ugh. Have you guys anyone watched any of that Leah Remedy stuff about Scientology?
No.
No.
No one.
No.
No, it's fascinating. Highly recommend it.
I mean, I saw a documentary about it.
Was it Going Clear? Dude, I'm balls deep
I don't
in
Yeah,
this
the
stuff.
remember
HBO
what it was
one?
called. My
Yeah.
parents had it
Yeah,
on.
that's right, Andrew. The HBO one.
It was just on Netflix. My parents had it on, and it was just kind of more so like just the screwed up things they.
Was it My Scientology movie?
Maybe that's what it was. I literally don't. I cannot
Okay.
remember the movie or the title of it.
My wife Ashley is obsessed with this like stuff, like Scientology and cults, and like
Yeah.
when we were down in Hollywood, that was her little day trip. When I was
Going
meeting
to
with
the
people,
church?
she went to the Scientology Center, and she went to the it's called it's like Psychiatry and Industry of Death Museum.
Ooh.
Oof. That's
She was like,
that
giddy.
either would really bum somebody out, or they would get real stoked on that.
She got real stoked. She loves that shit. Yeah. Yeah, he's cool though. He's a great producer.
Yeah, yeah. Because I remember in some interview Ken Andrews had, he was just like, he was kind of like, because he was test mixing against like 10 other people.
Yeah, I remember reading
Right.
about that.
Yeah, and he was just kind of like, he's like,
Damn.
I kind of had, a little bit of an edge because he knew the guy really well.
Justin, the
Yeah.
producer. You're right.
Well,
And-
Paramore,
that makes
Paramore
sense.
is also a fan of failure.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, and so just I
Kind of
think-
everyone is.
Yeah.
Really. Like.
And so it kind of just in the end just
Their name is a contradiction. There you go. Mike's getting it. He included himself. on
because
that
I'm
one.
trying to remember there was that was like some other group of friends inside joke for a while. I'm trying to remember who.
What?
No, like yeah.
Yeah, we got to get that shit on this podcast.
Called an air horn.
really,
asshole.
really take this
Well, no, but isn't
show up a notch, Andrew.
isn't there like the techno-ish one that sounds?
I don't know.
I mean, I guess it's just an air horn fucked with.
Yeah, it's like all the like dubstep.
Yeah, that's what I
Assholes.
was like. That's what I was like. It was actually. I'm like, I'm sure the source sound was an air horn.
Yeah.
But did everybody start doing it later because of the whole when dubstep was a thing? And yeah.
Andrew, where are we at on the clock here? Okay, we're just about an hour. I think this is a good time for our ceremonial pee break.
I got to pee so bad.
We're not really going to pee.
I
we're
wish
all-
I
We're
could
gonna
tell
hold
you
it in
how
for
bad
another
I-
hour, and we're gonna keep this train rolling.
Keep it going. Yeah, let's all go.
Kidney infections all around.
Let's all go
Yep.
piss for a minute. Some piss breaks, and then we'll come back and talk about what's going on in the world. We'll be right back.
And my dick, all the people. My dick for today. Imagine my dick's country.
Are you speaking to the mic, Mike?
I need more coffee.
Oh yeah, we're back.
Yeah, we are back from our piss break.
I was really surprised, Mike, about how your butthole was so tight but malleable.
Yeah, Mike just let me right on into that booty hole.
Raid on.
You guys
in.
gotta do that.
Damn.
That's how you
Damn.
keep the booty hole tight. and firm.
All right, we are back from our piss break.
That was a good little fade out there.
Mike got a little weird in the bathroom with me. I don't know why. I was taking a pee and he just walked in and started
When I
touching
don't
my.
when I don't have coffee, dude, my
Well, it
things
was
go
like
astray.
he was just like patting me on the butt, like pat, 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 and then he reached around and he just touched my dick. It was really weird. It's like, Mike, jeez, man. I know we're buddies, but fucking relax.
Only real buddies grab each other by the dick.
I
Why
guess.
Why don't you grab mine?
I know that's what I was
What
thinking
did I
too.
do?
Yeah, I gotta
I'm
do
really
it.
sad now.
But he only
I ha-
grabs dicks when you're peeing, and I
I
think
only
that's
grab
the
dicks
weird.
when you're not in control.
I do
you
pee
don't
out
leave
of my
yourself
butt.
open enough for it.
Yeah, I pee out on my butt.
All right, guys, let's get serious, huh? We're a couple adults.
Wait, we're not being serious right now.
Um,
I'm really hurt by this, Mike.
you guys have a good break. Everyone have a good
Yeah.
break.
Yeah.
Mike got some coffee. I think Neil ate some food.
I did 2 chicken sandwiches. that
Dude, those
quickly.
chicken sandwiches look so good. I was
Smothered
like-
in ranch.
It's like I wanted to have them. Too bad I'm on a
Yeah.
shitty diet right
If
now.
only you were touching my dick while I was eating.
Only I was grabbing you by the dick while you were eating.
All right. Well, this leads us to our other segment that we do on the Stateside podcast. We talk about news of the day, otherwise known as current events, and we will get Mike's take on what's going on in the world. But
This is
just
gonna
don't
be-
talk too much, Mike.
This is gonna be
Oh,
hilarious, by the
okay.
way.
We don't really want to hear.
My,
from you.
this
We
is
don't
the part where I
wanna
really
hear from
blow it, and then like you know, whatever my perspective is just
Wrong. It's just wrong.
wrong.
So Andrew typically leads this segment with a couple of insights on what's going on in the world. So what do you got, AC?
Oh, Mr. Leahy,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Trailer
found
Park
out-
Boys passed away
I
today.
was in my room yesterday,
Fuck.
and Steph yelled out, "Mr. Leahy died!" I'm like,
I'm about to bum
What?
everyone out in this room. I've never really watched Trailer Park
Oh
Boys.
man.
"Ah, "You're a fucking cuck, dude."
So-
Have you ever
You're a
seen?
fucking cuck.
I mean, I've watched a little bit with Tom, and he was super aggressive. Like, you know, one of those things where you watch something with someone,
and
and
the
he,
kiss of death or something.
yeah, he was
Kinda
just
talk it up too much.
Yes, and he was just like looking at me for your reaction, like, huh? You think that's funny?
yeah,
How about
you
that?
don't-
Now
It's not one of those shows. Like
It
you
takes a
kinda-
while. Yeah.
it takes a while. I'm
Yeah.
sure. No, everyone I love and trust and adore loves the show.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just a matter of time before I get
The
into it.
problem is they're Canadian.
That's a
be
huge
honest.
problem
Actually,
for me.
that's the part of it that makes it work. If this
See,
was,
this is why you suck at current events.
Yeah, they're not a real country, Mike. They're it's. I mean, I guess it's a country. I
Speaking
don't
of
even
which,
know what
did
they
you-
do up there.
Did you ever see his YouTube thing, Liquor Stories?
no.
Oh my God, it's
Oh,
so
he's
good.
right
He's
here.
so annihilated. Did they ever figure out why he died? By the way, I have a
I,
sneaking
well, he was
suspicion.
71. I think he's
Really?
They look pretty good for 70.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the dude was old enough to just like he was getting to that age.
How? I mean, this show's been going on for a long time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Like under
it's-
10
it's
years.
Been, it's been
Well, it
over
kind of
10
took a break,
years.
then they started it back up with Netflix.
Which is 14 years
Oh,
in
okay.
Canadian years.
And there's like, from what I've always heard is the movies kind of suck. There's like a movie
You know,
or movies.
I never
I'm not
watched
sure.
the movies. I only ever watched the show.
The early ones are a little better.
Really?
Yeah.
Like the Christmas special is really good, and that's kind of separate from the show, kind of.
Okay. How many seasons were there, or are there?
Jesus, actually, I don't know. There's a lot. They just kept going.
I
If
mean,
you have more seasons than X Files,
yeah,
you
or
know,
The Simpsons.
Do they have more seasons than X-Files?
X Files only goes to 9, dude.
Oh.
Yeah, it's 9.
X Files, it just,
Are you an X Files guy?
dude. X Files is my favorite show.
Oh, you and Ashley gotta talk
That was
about
like
that.
that's all my brother and I. My
Yeah.
brother and I have probably watched all 9 seasons. Like,
Dude, it's so good.
yeah,
I mean,
it's
so-
like it's.
Have you
and
seen the trailer for the new season?
I mean, I had watched the new season. Sucks. I'm sorry. It was just so bad. It was like it wasn't really a season. It was just those 6 like
yeah,
bring people
like
back into the
miniseries.
show type thing.
Well, if you hate it, that means I'm just gonna like it.
No,
Just
because
to spite you.
yeah. Well, I mean, sure. If you wanna roll that way, Neil, you sure can.
You
buddy.
sure
If
can.
only you knew how many ways I roll.
I could just do things out of spite. No, I that show is hard to show to other people because it's like
X Files.
Well, because it's got a
Yeah.
lot. There's a lot of quirky '90s.
Oh,
things.
it's so campy and
Oh
very
yeah,
90s.
like the first. It's hard.
shoulder pads. I mean,
tried-
it's like
I tried to show some friends like the first
Yeah,
couple
it-
seasons.
it's not gonna
and
go well.
and it's hard to get through.
it's hard.
Because I actually
I
didn't
agree.
start watching it till like season 6, and then you kind of just would watch
Yep.
it, and then you'd kind of go back and rewatch everything from before. And so it's like, yeah, it's hard to get in when you're watching something. That's
Would you say that's one of your favorite shows?
Oh yeah,
for sure?
it's the best show ever.
Yeah.
It hands down.
Were you a West Wing guy? I know Stefan's a huge West Wing fan.
I started watching it, and then something happened, and I didn't finish it. I actually need to get back into watching.
I think you'd like that, Mike.
No, I
It's
I
so
got
good.
through like the first couple seasons, and then I don't even remember what was
Yeah.
going on. I don't
You're a
know.
Simpsons guy, though, right? Maybe.
I
Kinda?
enjoy The Simpsons. I'm not like an.
You're a
I
little
would-
young for it, but you're also young for the X Files. So
Well, it was just kind of like The Simpsons. Just my family wasn't really into it too much. That's probably why I didn't watch
yeah,
it much.
my wife honestly got me into it more later on in life than because I mean I definitely grew up watching it, but
yeah.
like our me and Andrew's friend Dylan, he's like word for word can quote every fucking episode of The Simpsons,
Yeah.
and it like defines.
And
kinda
that's
who he is.
amazing because there's
There's a lot.
way more.
Well, I
Simpsons.
should probably clarify that it's really like the first 10 to 12 seasons that people really count as the golden era.
Yeah, yeah. I
Um,
mean, after you hit the 10 mark, like
Yeah.
that's really difficult to keep it rolling and stuff. And so, but I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I still think it's a clever, quirky show. Like, I definitely enjoy it now. If I had to like watch
Dude,
it
it's
all.
so good.
It is.
Me and Ashley are going through all the Tree House of Horror.
Mm-hmm.
So every season they'll do a Halloween special. They call it the
Mm-hmm.
Tree House of Horror. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anyway, so we're going through all those. They're so good. They're so good, and they're like short episodes,
Yeah.
like 7-minute things.
I probably
Yeah, dude,
need to
they're great.
switch over to Simpsons. I've just been in this weird muck for the last couple years where it's like I'll stop watching a show or like I'll finish watching something on Netflix because a new season or something
Yeah.
comes out. And then it's like, well, shit, I guess I'm just going to go back and rewatch all of It's Always Sunny.
Yeah, I know. I do
Like-
the same thing. I'm like,
Because it's like, It's Always Sunny,
it's so good.
I could put on, because sometimes I don't like sleeping to things that like I need to pay attention to.
Because
Like,
you never
I
actually go
can't
to sleep.
I can't put House of Cards on and try and sleep. I've
I
done
need to
that.
watch all the new stuff.
Oh, it's oof.
Yeah, it's a good show.
That's probably my favorite show.
All right, well, rest in peace, John F. Dunsworth, who played Jim Leahy.
My favorite drunk.
That's a bummer.
It says he died after a brief and unexpected illness.
Oh man.
So,
I figured it
71,
was
I
just
guess.
a heart attack.
Are they going to go on with the show?
What's up?
Are they going to go on with the
Just
show?
happened today. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. Well,
Or yesterday, I don't know.
well, rest in peace. What else you got, Drew?
There's a new Perfect Circle song that just dropped.
Oh yeah,
The
we were talking.
Doomed.
I still haven't heard it.
Actually, or yeah, I was
So-
gonna say.
yeah,
maybe
it's
should we play it?
I don't
And
know
then
how we're
talk
going
about
to.
What's up, TV audio right now?
I mean, we could do
We
it
could
like
edit out and post
through
or
my
something.
phone.
We can do it right now.
What's better, Andrew? Through, or is it going to pick up through here?
Oh, probably not. No.
Like if I did it from my end. Your call. What's the name of the song?
The Doomed.
Or the Doomed.
I don't even know if that's picking up at all.
Nah, it's not going to.
Not half as clever as you think.
Yeah, that's where it kind of gets weird.
Yeah, what the fuck happened there?
Oh,
Yeah.
that sucks. That first part was so rad.
I know, and that's what sucks. Is like you're like, okay, this sounds like I'm gonna get the big rock chorus that I've been waiting for you guys to do.
It just sounds like a Pucifer song.
And then it
No,
turns
yeah.
into Glory Hammer. Is what happens.
Yeah, it just kind of goes.
I mean, where's the band? Where's the rock
I
band?
don't know.
Where's the,
That-
where's the Perfect Circle?
As I've said before, and many of my friends know my feeling on the whole thing. Being that I am an avid Tool, Perfect Circle, both those bands
yeah.
have influenced my playing. And
Sure, me too.
musicianship. And I'm the last guy who wants a Perfect Circle or a Tool to come out with another record.
Yeah.
It's just I hate saying it. You know, it's like, oh, the band you grew up on, like
Yeah.
your entire childhood and teenage years.
Well, Andrew, did you go to that Perfect Circle show?
The Salem Armory?
this
No,
recently?
it was
Like
it was
last-
after
Oh, I
that.
haven't been like since like.
Okay.
Yeah,
A
I mean, I
decade.
saw them. I saw them back in February, and it was good. But
Well,
I
see,
know-
I saw one that was not good.
yeah,
Yeah,
no,
they
no,
were
and
pretty
that's
sloppy.
and that no,
It was at the
exactly.
Schnitz, I think, and it was. Look, man, anyone that knows me knows I'm super forgiving on things, right, Mike? I mean, I almost never am like talking
Well,
shit
'cause
about
you,
things.
you know,
I really try to
know
give
what
people the
happens.
benefit of the doubt.
yeah,
It could have been a bad night, whatever. But
Yeah.
this was like aggressively lazy.
yeah.
I mean, they just showed up and played mostly covers, half-assed versions of them.
Oh, they were playing. That was the emotive night.
Yeah, it was very that stuff, but not even well. I mean, I actually like some of those songs off Emotive.
I mainly just like passive and
The John Lennon cover's okay.
yeah. That was that. No, the John Lennon one. It's like out of all the covers they did,
I'm
that
just
was my
feel like
favorite.
the Devo one's rad.
I don't even remember which one that was.
That's help me, Andrew. Devo.
I haven't
fuck.
listened. I had literally not
I'm gonna
listened
brain
to that
fart right
probably
now.
since I was 14 or 15. Let's see.
Yeah, just type in Perfect Circle Devo.
That would be
cover.
1721.
1721.
Right.
That was back in 1721.
Back
when
in
the Perfect Circle came out.
1721. Yeah, go to track listing. Freedom of choice.
Oh.
Freedom of choice is
Yeah.
what you need. I mean, that song rules. Dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
It makes you wrong.
I think that was the only other one I
Dun.
could sort of like
Yeah, and like
stand out of the rest of them.
what's going on is kind of cool.
Yeah.
It was all right.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, even like the Elvis Costello one is pretty cool. What's so funny about Peace, Love, and Understanding,
Yeah.
which I guess is a Nick Lowe cover, but we all know it is Elvis Costello. Yeah, I don't know, man. That sucks.
Yeah. No, and when,
I'm a fan of everything Maynard's doing, and always check in on what he's up to. But God, it's been a while since they put out something musically that I can really stand behind.
I'm hoping they do. I mean, I don't know. I honestly think they're going to be going in this production-based thing because even when my girlfriend and I went to go see them back in February, it was really good. They did play like a new song, and it was like just
Yeah.
It was just it wasn't like that. It was just very it sounded like a perfect circle, but it was really mellow and boring. Like,
Well, the problem I'm picking up on, like, I heard Maynard on the Joe Rogan podcast maybe 2 months ago or so, maybe even less. And the thing I keep picking up on is the way that he talks about making music today, especially with Tool and A Perfect Circle. And he talks about it in the context of, like, especially with Tool, he'll say things like, well, they are working on an album.
Yeah,
I'm waiting
not
until
him.
they are ready with these songs. When they're ready, I'll show up and do my thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, what happened to the band? What happened to you four?
Which I'm pretty sure that
I mean,
some portion of that is bullshit because it's
it's
just
just,
like,
and it's kind of a dog on the boys. Like, what about, I don't know. It's like, I mean, I know that Tool historically is always written in that way. Like, those three guys do a lot of the arranging, and then Maynard will show up and he's like a reactionary musician. He's always talked about that.
yeah.
But my guess is he was really a part of that. Like, Inema and stuff. I mean, they were a band, a collective unit that came up with this stuff together. And anyway, that's kind of like what I think is missing. It's just
I also just think, like, I would have to think in his shoes where he is now. I mean, it's like,
yeah, it's a different.
It's just kind of
fucking
like
world.
It's a different world. Your drive is different. The
He's
things you're
older.
He's older. He's got a kid and a wife.
He owns a winery. I mean,
yeah,
it's different.
in his shoes right now, I wouldn't want to make another record.
God no.
What's the point?
I'm 34 and I barely even want to.
I mean, and like he's already gone platinum how many times?
Yeah,
So
I know.
it's just like he's already accomplished. He's already in line with the best.
I mean, how old are those
why
guys?
would he need? Why would you go out and
50?
Yeah, he's in his 50s.
50s, bro.
So it's like he's already very successful. He's set for the rest of his life, as far as I know. I mean, he's always probably going to do things, music that are, like, I think that's what he had Pucifer for, because it was just something that he can just do in the comfort of his time. And
Yeah, he's 53.
yeah.
I mean,
it's like he's already accomplished. He's already set out and accomplished everything he's been wanting to do.
Yeah,
And I don't
of
think
course.
he wants. I think he would rather. That's why I'm thinking. I'm pretty sure a Tool record has already been written. He just doesn't want to do it.
So I mean, how do you feel about that kind of stuff? Because I think there's two sort of opinions on this, like where you draw the line in the sand. Like, there's people who want their bands to hang it up when they're at their best. Like, leave this
Yeah, I thought
dynasty
they did that
good.
with Perfect Circle. I thought
Yeah.
they did that.
No, they
Right.
did.
They should have just laid it to rest.
Laid it
'cause
to rest.
it's pretty
But
good.
then there's people who are like, or just keep going. Like, you're in your 50s and you have every right to keep going. It's kind of ageist to expect people just to stop just because they're at a certain age.
I mean, a good record is a good record. You're gonna
yeah, and like
remember
Exactly.
a
I
good
don't
record.
I don't think Tool or Perfect Circle releasing bad records today negates the good ones from the past. It doesn't take anything away. For me,
It doesn't, but it's almost.
maybe it does for you, but for me, I don't care. Like, frankly, if they just want to keep putting out content, the word's kind of
It's
goofy,
just
but
to me. It's the.
it doesn't matter to me.
To me, it's just the equivalent of when, like, they try to make some sequel or they try to bring some franchise back that's 20 years old, and it's just like, it's like this and then it always ends up being garbage, and it's just this movie.
Uninspired art.
It's
like,
just it's like you guys just
Yeah.
took the title from this franchise everybody loved because you thought the nostalgia factor was going to kick in.
look. I mean, every time they play, they sell out fucking arenas.
Yeah.
And that's hard to turn down.
No, and I'm not saying they can't still play. If you're still going to go out and play music, by all means.
Oh, okay,
do
interesting.
it.
So you're saying, like, still tour?
Still tour, just don't make records. If you're not in a
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I agree, but I think like I said, there's kind of two different opinions on this, and I totally understand your point of view. I get why people are just like, fucking just don't ruin it.
Yeah.
Like Michael Jordan retires and then he comes back and fucking plays an awful season with some team that no one cares about. Like,
Yeah.
that bums people out.
Yeah.
I get it. But for me, I'm like, or he's a fucking human being and he still wants to go.
It's not that he needs to stop doing his career.
Right.
It's just, I mean, with bands and artists, it's just kind of like, it's hard to tell this to anybody because nobody's ever consciously aware of, like, musically where they're at sometimes. Like people like are in a different headspace when they write a record from when they were a kid as opposed to where they are when they're, much older and stuff. And it's hard to constantly be inspired. It's hard to keep, writing material that actually still appeals to people, because either you either change your sound drastically over years, or you stick to something and it either just gets worse, or like you somehow are able to figure out how to keep it going.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the thing. It's hard to say that to anybody, because some bands have managed to keep, like Red Hot Chili Peppers, they stayed with the same sound and they're still putting out records people like.
Yeah.
And rather people like some from back then or
right.
Or it's
I mean,
that's
because
up for debate. But.
And maybe even further down that rabbit hole is like bands like U2 or the Rolling Stones.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Rolling Stones are literally in their 70s.
Yeah.
I mean, they're grandpa-aged men.
Yeah.
Personally, I think it's fucking rad.
Yeah.
That's my take on it.
Yeah.
And I know most people disagree with me. Maybe not most, but certainly people in our circle of friends. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. Like, I just feel like, why not do the thing you love till the day you fucking die, or the day you can't do it?
And that's the thing. You can always be playing music.
It doesn't take away the radness they had in the 60s and 70s.
No, it doesn't. I just think I don't know.
I know what you're saying, though.
Yeah.
It's like either put out relevant art that's honest and sincere, or don't do it at all.
Because if you go out...
I think that's the key, right?
Well, that's the thing. Is like, if you're going out and just putting out something, like, I hate bands who just put out records just so they have something to tour off of.
Yeah.
And sometimes...
I can see that. Yep.
And sometimes the circumstances
It's
are,
like movies. You're like, really, another Transformers movie? That's what the world needed? Like, just garbage.
Fast and Furious 130.
Yeah, it's just studio
But
garbage.
sometimes-
There's a set amount of money they know they'll make. And,
and sometimes... But sometimes people, they'll just go out and keep putting it out because they know people are going to keep paying for them and stuff.
Yeah.
And, sometimes that's,
It is
like,
what
I
it is,
enjoy
yeah.
Fast and Furious movies. They're ridiculous.
I know. They're ridiculous. They're fun.
I can enjoy a Transformer movie.
Sure.
They're ridiculous.
Yeah, I know, man.
But I'll it's like I'm never gonna hate it.
Me and my wife went and saw the newest Fast and Furious movie in the theater.
Yeah.
And
I was joking. There's another one?
well, no, I mean, from whenever the last one was.
Well, it was
That's
like
a year ago or so.
Yeah, a year ago. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But at one point, we're sitting down, and then I turned to her. She turned to me, and we both, almost at the same time, were like, "What the fuck are we doing here? Why are we here?"
Well,
And then we had like a blast. Like, it was so much fun.
Did you go to that? Crumman had that whole
I-
marathon day.
I caught the
Dude,
tail end of
I
it.
wanted to go.
I went to the last one, but they had been going for like 8 hours. Do the
Jesus
math. I
Christ,
don't know
man.
what it is.
That's
longer
too
than that.
much.
I think Crummett, Josh Northcutt,
Marinelli was there.
Marinelli, Crummett's wife.
See,
And
I
a
showed
few
up
other
for one
people.
movie. I forget which
They
movie
did
it
the
was.
entire
Yeah.
fucking.
I could do Star
thing.
Wars.
I could do Star Wars.
I
I could do
can't-
Indiana Jones.
Yeah, well, I'll do it, but
Maybe
I
not the
won't
new one.
watch Temple of Doom.
Oh, I love Temple of
I
Doom.
hate Temple
Dude, I
of Doom.
love it.
Temple of Doom.
Habam Shivai,
Oh,
Habam Shivai,
God.
Habam Shivai.
It was just the most. It
Kalima.
was just the most
Shukti Day.
cartoony
Shukti
thing
Day Kalima.
ever, and I just.
How dare you? You watch your whore mouth, Mike. I love Temple.
And I love Indiana Jones.
Okay, can we get on the same page with Crystal of Nothing? Whatever the fuck
You
that
know,
movie's
it's
called.
bad,
fuck
but
that.
I
Dude,
still.
fuck that movie.
It's bad, but I still enjoyed it. I don't know.
No.
Like I'm not gonna go out of my way to watch it.
Right.
But I mean,
I watched it one time, haven't watched it since.
Yeah, I mean,
Probably
it was,
never will.
It's really. I mean, I think it's the same conversation everybody has that Mac and Charlie have in the One Sunny episode.
Which one?
There's that episode where they're like, they get trapped in these people's house because like something about artifacts got brought up, and they all just like the whole thing just turns into like Mac getting like
Yeah.
he's wearing the Indiana
He's wearing the
Jones
hat. Is that when he's super fat?
Yeah, it's my favorite season ever.
He keeps like eating chips in the van.
Well,
on
the-
Chimichangas.
chimichangas.
Well, it's the fact that
You
he
have
gets-
a bag of chimichangas.
It's just you were turning into a Jimmy John.
It's so good.
It's like the fact that they start.
I'm
the
putting
season-
on mass. I'm putting on.
They
mass.
start the season off with him getting fat with no
Fat as
explanation
fuck.
as to why it happened.
So good.
Yeah.
What a commitment to comedy, by the way.
Oh yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Because
even-
he's like super ripped and healthy, and
Oh no, and he talks about like why he did that.
because it's funny.
Well, no, because he said he was like in shows he always hated how people like got better looking over time, which he thought was
Right.
just super unreal.
Right.
And he's
this
just like
dickhead at a bar. Why would he be getting ripped and awesome
yeah,
looking?
and he thought
Like,
it would be funnier to like do the complete
the realistic.
opposite.
Yeah, yeah.
And so
Dude, that show is fucking legendary. Do you remember the local band Caddisfly?
oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember all the Caddisfly stickers?
I never actually saw any of the stickers. I always
And
just
Look at that.
Andrew, do me a flavor. Type in
Flavor.
"It's Always Sunny Caddisfly" sticker.
so that
Something like
sale
that.
is just that's just one of my
So Neil, if you're not following along, it's Caddisflies with a K.
I
But,
know
uh,
Caddisfly. I know them very well.
Well, the local band Caddisfly, they had stickers in the bar of "It's Always Sunny" on like a column in the middle of the bar.
Oh,
You ever
really?
notice that?
oh
Oh.
yeah,
no
yeah, yeah.
way.
Oh,
How'd
dude,
they-
no,
how'd they do
yeah.
that?
It was like a fucking thing.
Oh damn.
How did they do that?
What did you type
They
in?
probably just somebody knew somebody.
Do sticker right after Caddisfly.
Damn.
Yeah,
That's rad.
I mean, so like for the first couple seasons,
Oh, probably type in. Wait, go back. Type on that. Go back, and then type on that link. The first one.
yeah,
It's like I just noticed.
yeah,
a
yeah,
Caddisfly
do that.
sticker.
But I remember talking to Bo, the drummer, and it was like,
Oh, I thought he was going to show a picture or something.
God damn it.
it. I wish they'd.
well, anyway, the first couple seasons, the stickers are like all over the place in the bar.
Caddisfly was before the show, right?
Yeah, I don't know, maybe.
No, well, when did
So how'd they
Set
get a
Sail come
sticker
out?
in the show?
No, it was like right around the same time,
Oh, was it really?
I mean, yeah, the show's been going on, dude. They're like on season 12.
like
right now.
2005 or something.
It was like
that.
right when
Yeah.
when high school started for me. So like, it's been.
Yeah, that's Caddisfly era then. I didn't know the show was that old.
Yeah, and then the label, I think the label had a couple stickers too. Well, who was that? Do you remember, Mike?
Whatever their label was, it wasn't
Atlantic.
which
Wasn't it
Hope-
Atlantic?
No, it was like Hopeless or Fearless.
was
or
it on Hopeless? I think it was Hopeless. I don't
something.
think it was Fearless.
Maybe not Fearless. I don't know.
Fearless was around, but I don't think. Actually, maybe it was. Yeah, who knows?
Yeah. Well, what else you got, Andrew?
Oh shit.
On today's events.
All right, you got Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross released
Yeah, I read about
Retake.
that.
on the Halloween theme, which is fucking awesome.
Oh, just take it and make it creepier. They are completely capable.
Yeah,
of
they do
doing
creepy
that.
pretty goddamn well.
Yeah.
So, what does that mean? They took the John Carpenter.
So they took
Original theme?
they recomposed the music to just, I guess, whatever they would do now.
Oh my!
I have no idea what it sounds like.
I haven't heard it. Have you heard it, Drew?
Oh yeah,
Is it good?
it's creepy.
Really?
It's good. Yeah.
God damn it!
Have you seen
That's
Nine Inch Nails
awesome.
live?
Oh fuck yeah!
I mean, it's like the creepiness you
Dude,
feel
it's
when
some
they
of the
play
best.
like a Reptile or some like the really dark songs off Downward Spiral.
Yeah, that and, like the last scores they done for like movies.
Yeah.
Pretty
Well,
goddamn creepy too. Like
Well, I mean-
Gone Girl is pretty. Like the sound design's fucking awesome.
wait, which one did they do?
They did Gone Girl with David Fincher. Of
Oh,
course,
I never saw-
the
I never
Social
saw-
Network.
I know,
Social
the
Network.
He just
Network,
did
I
Ken
like
Burns'
that.
the Vietnam documentary.
They did?
Yeah, they did.
Really?
They
Oh damn!
contributed
I'm,
some,
I'm a big
soundtrack
old Ken
stuff.
Burns fan.
Yeah, so
sure.
it's like a 8-part.
Because I'm a nerd.
Oof.
Well, that sounds creepy.
God,
It's
yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Made a creepy
That
song
that
creepier.
making of. Oh my god. Oh, that's so good. I hope the audience can hear this.
These are the sounds that go on in my head, by the way.
Oh Jesus, that's terrifying, Neil.
It makes more sense how I act then, right? Knowing that. Just imagine me trying to discuss business with you, James, with this going on.
And this
in
is
my
going
head.
on in your. If there was a
So, yeah,
if there was
I'm-
a series of
So
Neil-
tomorrow,
Terrifying.
Sustainer's coming into
Inside
track.
Neil,
Yeah.
That's the series. This is all you hear.
We only have a couple vocal takes left to do.
Yeah, I loved the making of the soundtrack to Social Network, where Trent Reznor's
haven't
using
seen
that
it,
piece
no.
of gear that's got like that slide string thing on it.
Oh
Do you
yeah, the
remember?
little ring on it.
Yeah.
He's
pretty
always
cool.
using some cool
Like,
thing
what the
that
where did he
no
find
one...
that shit? It had a key. You had to turn on this piece of equipment with a key.
Yeah. He's a dude. He always gets like some new
So rad.
thing somebody makes, like
Yeah, like
You
a
got-
guy
like,
custom made it.
like when the little dot things or that little pad that has all those light up buttons.
Yeah.
So he like before that was like in stores everywhere. He was dealing like there were companies who made that stuff that was like thousands of dollars that no one had yet.
Right.
And I remember when he was doing, I think it was those Ghost records or whatever.
Which are
Oh,
still
the
fucking
whole
rad.
series.
Yeah.
My
Not
dick
all of
is
it,
going
but-
inside my body right now.
It's terrifying.
I like how they still have the 80s kind of sounds.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because
Yeah.
he always
Throw the
still
tribute.
he's
Right.
always
Yeah,
still
real.
been a hardware synth guy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, other than his songwriting abilities, that's like one of my favorite things about Trent Reznor is that he's using technology as a tool,
Yeah.
as an instrument,
Yeah.
not as a crutch.
Yeah.
It's not this bullshit fucking dubstep DJ thing that's so popular now. Like,
Skrillex.
yeah, Skrillex. Like, where's the?
I mean, I'm
I mean, yeah, you can talk shit. I mean, I like the Every Time I Die, how they always talk about how well they know Skrillex, and he's
Yeah.
actually a really cool guy, and like everyone's just a bunch of fucking haters.
well. I
but-
mean, I guess for Skrillex's sake, it's kind of like, yeah, it's cool what him and other guys did, but even Reznor did. See that? What's funny is that Year Zero record he did. That was all done on a laptop.
Yeah, pretty laptop.
He did that
On a-
record
on
on a
a
laptop
bus.
to prove that he could just
Across the world.
Yeah, I
just
think on a bus.
Hide out in the corner.
Yeah.
or
yeah, on the
something.
tour bus, yeah.
That's like, yeah, and I remember reading
But
stuff.
but you see what you
Yeah,
see my
yeah.
point. Like you watch Nine Inch Nails live, and you're like, oh,
It's much more than that.
that's fucking crazy.
No, I mean, Reznor was...
Because they sort of recreate it. You know,
Yeah.
you see it,
No,
all the
he was-
hardware.
He was one of the first guys that I think inspired my brain to go into more, I think, like, computers and
Yeah.
music, that kind of
Right.
inspiration kind of thing. And
Oh, yeah.
I think that was kind of the beginning of me getting,
That's awesome.
the precursor to me getting into engineering and stuff.
Well, and
So-
like, you know, electronic music is a funny thing because it's sort of misleading. I mean, there's no such thing as just like turning on a computer and having a song. Yeah, I mean, you can find like
Yeah,
plugins or whatever samples and that you just hit play and it does it for you. But
yeah.
you still have to arrange it. And you know, like me and Andrew grew up listening to old school electronic, like Aphex Twin and
Oh, yeah,
fucking
yeah.
Square Pusher, and like back in those days, like Aphex Twin that was tape, my man.
Well, Crystal
yeah.
Method.
Can you imagine
that
doing
shit.
that shit?
Yeah.
Jesus,
nuts, man.
fucking
Well, I mean, in
Christ.
Crystal Method. That was
Crystal
another
Method,
cool,
Daft Punk,
Yeah, they
all those
actually,
dudes.
They had to actually
yeah,
do program.
yeah, and like
do
with
the
Nine Inch
stuff.
Nails, I mean, those sounds don't come out of thin air. He
No.
creates those sounds. He produces that sound.
Yeah,
Like any of the like Closer or any of the legendary singles that he's done.
Mhm.
I mean, all of those sounds that
yeah,
that's all like a custom built sound
yeah.
that takes a ton of time to do. I have to tell you.
Yeah, I guess
No,
in
right.
those early days, he had like a broken drum machine.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he just like had like a specific kind of like bit
Right.
rate.
Oh my god.
Just-
Yeah, he's a genius.
Yeah, I wish. It's unfortunate there isn't more guys like him.
I know.
You know? And the other thing I really like about
There
him
probably is. They're just not as well known.
well, yeah, but it's and even
Maybe
when
there's
he's
somebody
talking in
better.
interviews, some people would probably think he's a little arrogant or something. I'm like,
I don't
no,
know.
sometimes
Yeah.
I don't.
I think he's
he
well spoken.
I think he puts things in perspective, but like really simple
Yep.
and like
Did you see the Defiant ones? The HBO
I still
documentary.
need
Oh,
to watch
fuck,
it.
yeah.
Dude,
I-
it's so good.
so good.
Well, he's in that, Mike.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I know I saw a good
So-
clip of it, but I've been wanting to watch.
Well, and that's
whole
the
thing.
badass thing about him is it's not just that he's okay. So there's a few things. It's not just that he's a good musician. It's
No, he
not that
came
he's
from
just a good
nothing.
songwriter, and he came from nothing.
Yeah,
He's not just a good songwriter and arranger. He's not just a good producer. But he's also a good entrepreneur and a businessman.
yeah,
Like a label owner, a visionary. I mean, he's I don't know his title, but he's
signed
part of
Marilyn Manson.
signed Marilyn Manson, and now subsequently worked with Jimmy Iovine, who owned Island Records, and then started Beats by Dre. Not Island, Interscope. Thank you, Interscope, and then started Beats by Dre with Dr. Dre, and then they, with Apple, made Apple Music.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
And Trent Reznor is a part of that too.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people don't know that,
Yeah.
or at least forget it. You know, it's just
Yeah,
not
yeah.
in everyone's mind. But I mean, he's a genius.
Yeah. No, I mean, and I think.
He understood a long time ago. He's like, if I want to keep up with this thing, I gotta stay relevant. And he's always keeping up with technology.
Well,
and what's
he's
going
always
on.
he's always managed to stay ahead of things.
Yeah,
Which is
Oh yeah, like stage productions, fucking
Always.
ridiculous. Always,
Oh, yeah.
Always.
always something new.
I know. I mean, the live shows are just unreal.
Yeah. I mean, that's a show I'll never forget. I've only gotten to see them once.
It's an actual show.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this $55 for my ticket. That's
that's
so
a
worth
one
it.
I'd pay, yeah, a lot.
Oh, I'd pay $100
Or
to go see
100,
their
whatever,
shows.
yeah.
I don't care.
Me neither.
That's like I mean, it's like the bands like Tool, like Nine Inch Nails. I mean, those are always like, you're not just paying to watch some band.
No.
You're actually getting an experience.
I mean, those like late '90s Tool shows were really something to be
I
seen.
wish I was, yeah.
Lateralis tour. I
God.
mean, that
Yeah, I
stuff was
caught
just
them on that.
unbelievable.
Yeah, I wish I could have seen them on the Lateralis tour. Like, just.
And those bands who own, they own everything. You know, it's like, we're gonna create, or we're gonna control the artwork. We're gonna control how. I mean, like Trent gets involved with the
Everything.
state, everything.
Yeah.
Literally everything.
Well, I mean, and with Tool.
But he's good at it. A lot of
And he's
people try
good
to
at
get. A lot of people try to mimic that, and they end up just.
But
screwing
that's
it
not
up.
to say that Trent Reznor doesn't delegate. I mean, he definitely. It's not like he's running the lights. And
Well,
he's
no,
not- I mean,
he
hires
hires the best
proper
of the
people.
best and stuff. And like with Tool, from what I know, because from friends I know, from other friends, from like people who do live sound tour and stuff, like the band still like sets up their own gear.
Right.
Their techs are just there to basically just like tune drums or check
Right.
stuff and like obviously like check guitars, but like the band still like sets up the rigs.
Yeah.
And that's like, and even I like, when I see bands who do have other people teching for them and stuff, and I'm thinking like, it's like, I know there are people who can do this stuff, but like when it's your own thing, like I feel like even when I'm at shows, like I have to be the one to set it up.
Right.
It's not me trying to be a controlling dickhead.
No.
I just like, I know.
Well, you care. You
Yeah,
give a
I
fuck.
care. And
I know. I think I always thought about that too. If I had a drum tech, like, yeah, especially with drums, it's just such a pain in the ass to
Yeah.
lift everything. And
yeah, you have a guy help you out.
you
but
got exactly. But at the end of the day, I'm still gonna be.
I want to.
moving
I
every-
have
yeah.
to know the drums are good.
Yep,
And
especially
I have to
drums.
know my guitars and everything aren't
Right.
sounding weird and whatnot. But anyway.
But anyway, yeah. You had a couple more things up there, Drew. What you got?
Let's see.
All right, we got the Portland is on the list for MLB expansion. For
Oh
baseball.
yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh really?
Fuck yeah. I mean,
What
baseball's
team-
by far my favorite sport.
I mean, would a team be moving here? Would we? Be
Hopefully
well-
they don't come up with a terrible name like the Golden Knights that Las Vegas got.
So
for
it
their
says
hockey team.
once MLB expands from 30 to 32 teams, baseball will require a city in the West Coast time zone. Portland will be on the list. I think Portland is a possibility. You can think of prospects on the West Coast probably as effectively as I can. Yeah, and so originally when the Oakland A's were talking about building a new arena, they were talking about moving up here.
Yeah.
That didn't happen, but it's just bound to happen. It's only a matter of time. And look, man, the Portland area would be fucking ideal for it. People don't think so because of the weather.
Well, that was what I was
But-
just gonna say. I'm like, well, it rained.
Are there
But there's
actually
ways around it.
I know you're a diehard baseball fan, but
Go to a Hillsborough Hops game.
well, see, the whole reason they brought the Timbers here was because they originally tried to do a baseball major league thing and it didn't sell enough. So
No, they
brought
never
soccer.
did. No, they only did.
The Rockies.
No, that was all the
I mean, they kicked them
like
out
when
of
it
the
used to be
stadium to bring the
PG
Timbers
Park.
in.
That was the Portland Beavers. And that was always a minor league team. And then, but yeah, I mean, go to a Hillsborough Hops game. They're sold out every every single game.
Is
And
its
it's
capacity like 100 people?
no, it's a full stadium. No, it's a full stadium.
Damn.
What's the cap at it?
I don't know, thousands. You can look it up.
So
I mean,
people
it's
want
a huge
baseball
stadium.
here.
People really want baseball.
I mean, and
here.
it's
Where
like
would it move to since the Timbers now have that park? Where would it go? Hillsboro?
I don't know. Yeah, probably somewhere on the outskirts.
Or
Or
they build a new stadium? That'd be interesting.
I mean, there was talks about doing the
damn.
Ron Tonkin Field?
next to the Modas. What's the old arena? Where the Blazers used to play. Right
Coliseum?
next to
Memorial.
Yeah.
Coliseum?
Yeah,
Coliseum.
Memorial
Turning that into an indoor one?
or another stadium. Yeah,
Oh, that'd be cool. That thing's pretty much outdated, right? Like that Coliseum.
yeah, it's been there for ever. What's the capacity of that?
He exited out.
I mean, it's
too
it's,
fast.
It's pretty big. But anyway, yeah, I mean, it's rabid. Tons of people out there.
Well, and everybody with all the new people moving up here,
It makes sense.
it
yeah.
makes sense. So that's why it's
The stadium has a capacity of 4,500
Oh, cool.
spectators.
Nice.
I mean, every time I've been to a game, it's sold out and people are standing like on the grass
That's
trying to get
awesome.
in.
yeah.
It's crazy.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, what would we call it? What would the team be called? What do you think, Mike?
The team.
Yeah, what would we call our MLB team?
I mean, I don't know. I know names are just on the short list, or just like, I mean, with what Vegas came up for our football team, it's just terrible. Have you guys seen the mascot?
No, what's the name
It's
of
like
it?
it's a yellow lizard.
Is that going to happen?
Yeah.
That is happening?
That is the actual dude. Pull it up.
So it's just like
Wait, so
the
a
show
lot-
Ballers?
dude. Look.
Oh my god.
So
It
Las
looks-
Vegas
Oh
has a professional
my.
football team now?
Yeah.
They're going to.
Yeah. We're
Oh
building
my
the
God.
stadium and
It's a fucking
everything.
lizard.
Oh, wow.
That is a
And
disaster.
his name's Chance.
What? That looks like that 90s dinosaur TV show.
Who approved
Dinosaur.
that?
I don't.
Yeah, dinosaurs.
Nobody back home is stoked about
Oh.
this. By the way,
All right, now we have to get a baseball team just
I
to
know.
show up fucking Las Vegas.
that's why I'm like, I don't
Oh
know
my
who
God.
chooses these names.
The Golden Knights, huh?
which is just so.
And it's a lizard.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it makes sense. It just looks so dumb.
Oh my god, look at that guy.
What the fuck?
What?
Where? I mean, where are they? What is that photo from? Because there's like people in the audience.
I don't know.
I mean,
Like,
were the
15.
Golden Knights like a minor
Yeah,
league
this was
team?
like a couple days ago.
Waves
Oh,
a
okay.
flag during the team's game.
Oh
It's
my
awesome.
god, and there's a castle
my
behind
God
him. You
in
see that?
heaven.
That's
Yeah.
a castle.
Things.
But he's a
about-
lizard.
Yeah, things about Las Vegas that are just really lame.
When does that start?
I don't.
Because they're not. It's not a current thing.
Not yet. Or wait. Oh wait. No, is it football? Oh no. I guess it is.
Is
wait.
it hockey?
Is it
No, I
hockey?
think it's hockey or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it is hockey. My bad. I don't know why.
Is
I
it
thought football?
hockey?
Fuck you, Mike.
No, because I said no, because I said hockey earlier, and I'm like, wait a
Jesus, it's
minute,
aggressive.
that sounds wrong, and I was like, ugh, yeah.
They got
That doesn't
shades
make-
That
on
looks
and
like
shit.
something.
Oh
So
my
it makes
God.
it even worse because none of those have anything to do with hockey.
A castle and a fucking lizard.
Only in Vegas would they do this shit. Only in Vegas. God.
Yeah. Have you guys ever seen the documentary on Netflix about the Portland Mavericks?
No.
They were an independent baseball team back in the 70s. It was actually owned by Kurt Russell's dad.
What?
Yeah, oddly enough. And it was at the park at where the Portland Timbers play.
Oh, nice.
Before it was a PG park.
Yeah, I remember going to see a lot of baseball games.
The
out there.
Portland Mavericks used to play there.
Oh God, this is a
Oh my
combination of-
God.
Wow.
Got a Goomba in
What
there.
a disaster.
Wait, so what were the Portland Rockies then?
They
Because that was because when I went to go see baseball at
Yeah.
PG Park, there was the Portland Rockies.
they were a minor league team.
Oh. Well, same with the Mavericks, right?
No, actually, well, technically, the Portland Mavericks. That's what's interesting about the story is they weren't part of
Or
a.
minor league baseball.
Yeah, they weren't even part of the major league sort of thing.
Little
Like
circuit.
it was an independent team in an independent league.
Oh.
So it was like hippies and you could do drugs and like they did drug test. It was a whole fucking.
I mean, that name
Very
right there
70s back
alone
then.
is better
Oh,
than
look at this
the
dude.
Golden
Yeah,
Knights.
for sure.
Oh man.
Because we still have a minor league
Stoners.
team, right?
Hillsborough Hops.
Hillsborough Hops. Are they?
They're
like
single A ball, so it's like super low. They're like 19-year-old kids. They're a farm team to the
That's what I was
Arizona
gonna
Arizona Diamondbacks.
That's right. That's what I was gonna ask. The farm.
Andrew, Portland Mavericks. Type in that.
These are all way better names than the Golden
Yeah.
Knights, by the way.
Yeah, just hit images. But they were, like I said, I think it was Kurt Russell's dad that owned the team. Yeah, click on that. Any of those like 70s mustache pictures. The Battered Bastards of Baseball is the name of the documentary.
Well, when I was in North Carolina, we went out to see the Durham Bulls.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
cool.
I
With
guess
the
in
movie
Bull
and
Durham.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That
a
was really
baseball territory down there for sure.
Oh yeah. I'd be stoked to get a Portland baseball team here.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I would. I just didn't know it was that popular
I
here.
mean, if we were gonna have all this, god awful traffic nowadays. Let there be a legitimate excuse for it now.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. I'm kidding. What else you got, AC?
All right, so we all had heard about those terrible wildfires in California.
They're
Yeah.
still going on.
Jesus Christ.
Like
It's-
multiple deaths. 41 dead so far.
Jesus.
Do we go
How-
down a little bit? Yeah, right there.
Is this like from the same fires from like months ago that are still going on?
No, this is relatively recent. A couple
Okay.
weeks, give or take. 213,000 acres burned. 5,700 structures
How are
burned.
these fires starting? Is it just because it's just too hot?
40,000 people are still waiting to return home.
Jesus.
Good God.
And the last podcast we did, they have a bunch of pictures comparing before and after,
Oh man.
and it's like a full blossomed city, like a fucking normal town, and then the next it's like Hiroshima.
Yeah.
You know, like just a nothing.
That's just
Devastated
awful.
town.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, how
Awful.
are these ones starting? Are they just?
Well,
Is it just way too hot?
it's
and-
both, man. I mean, it's a little global warming. I think it's making things extra long and dry. Like the seasons are going on longer.
Yeah.
It's
and then
California. I mean, there's
it
too many
definitely-
people.
So it definitely wasn't dickhead kids.
The one in Oregon was.
The one in
No,
Gorge
yeah.
was, yeah.
Yeah.
There's another good documentary on Netflix about the California wildfire season, and it's fucking. I highly recommend it. It's so crazy because it just keeps going on longer and longer and longer.
Well, and you just think
The season just it won't. Yeah, they can't get a handle on it.
Well, I mean, and you think with how far we've come with science and ways to like maybe not make or ways to like neutralize these things without it being impactful to the environment. You figure we would have figured something out by now. I mean, I
How?
don't know.
No,
It's like,
I mean, yeah, as as much as we get into technology and we progress as a society, things like that still happen.
yeah,
It's fucked. And unfortunately, it still takes the old-fashioned way of putting out fire
yeah,
with water and suppression,
Yeah.
and manpower,
yeah.
and like
And semen.
and a lot of cum, tons of cum.
We need all your cum.
Can you imagine? Oh, never mind. Not
No, I
actually
mean,
is a
we're not
thing.
going to go into that. We're not going to go into the can you imagine scenario with that.
Can you imagine if they realized that cum was the way
It
to put out fire?
was the best thing to take out fire.
No
In
fucking
all the-
shortage of that.
Yeah, but it's fucked, and we all feel for those people. And there are a ton of ways to help. I mean, what do you got there, Andrew? It's ways to donate.
Yeah, there's a
A
whole
lot of
list here.
stuff.
So
Not-
basically, this is for the equivalent of people, like all the people who are not in their homes, is basically the equivalent of them hiding out in shelters during floods,
yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah, and they need help, man. Like, I mean, it's really bad, and they need supplies, they need medical supplies. There's people. It's not good,
Yeah.
and it's in one of the biggest, richest states in America.
Yeah.
Well, then fuck them.
Pull
Puerto Rico first.
They
Puerto
have
Rico
money.
first, baby.
They can... No,
Pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Napa Valley, get the fuck out of
Yeah,
here.
get out of here. It was meant to be.
No, it is a bummer though.
Huge bummer.
I hope they get
Huge
things
bummer.
figured out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
What is that one on the left there, Andrew?
Black. All right.
Something about bears.
Oh,
black bears are very good at getting to food left by humans.
really?
No fucking shit.
Headlining news.
Should have came under afterwards.
One bear has even learned to open bear canisters by throwing them off a cliff. I saw a video of a bear drinking like a bottle of soda or something.
Oh yeah.
And he was just putting it in his mouth and lifting his head back. And like he figured out how to chug the drink by just like wah, 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 wah.
Yeah,
I
but
wish they had done one with beer. It
Yeah.
was just like
He's just getting trashed.
he was just getting trashed.
The coolest
having a
bear ever.
blast.
Educational is what that says. Aw, that's cute.
Well, anyways, yeah, bear-proof canisters have been consistently updated to deal with bears who teach each other.
Yeah,
to
they're,
open.
they're pretty smart. They're easy to scare, but they're pretty smart when it comes to
Yeah.
dumb camper
How
people.
many times have you encountered a bear?
Huh?
How do you know they're easy to scare?
Because they always say,
I've seen
from
them
what
all.
I remember from Scouts, is like, you just have to make loud sounds and like try to be above them.
Yep.
Like, they're like,
No.
Interesting.
because if you try to run, if you try to run away from them,
Yeah, no good.
yeah, they go after
Well,
you.
that's good to know.
Yeah.
No,
I
bear,
would've
I mean,
ran
bears
away.
are like
That's
the
terrifying.
worst thing to run into.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They-
startle a bear or
They run faster than you. They
Yeah.
can climb trees faster than you.
Yeah.
And
There's a
higher.
good chance it's bigger than you.
And they can
Yeah.
swim super fast. And there's a huge chance they're bigger than you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
So that was news. The
not really new, just
They figured
something,
out how to open
something to break it
containers.
up.
It's just an observation. apparently.
On Stateside
Something
Podcast, we have a
fun.
little segment called Bear News.
we should.
Oh, look at those little bears fighting.
news.
Oh man.
Oh, that's adorable.
You slept with my sister. No, I didn't. She came on to me.
Wild kangaroo
Cage
street
that
fight.
ass.
Hold on. Wild kangaroo street fight, Aussie style. Click on that, Andrew.
Oh, dude,
Oh,
that's like all
yeah,
the time.
Yeah, I love this one.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Look at those guys.
They're fucking crazy.
Yes.
They just kick each other in the balls, don't they? Isn't that like a
Couches
thing?
or some shit.
No,
they're,
they
they're
just
boxing.
they square up with each other, dude.
All
Yeah,
buff,
dude. They're. Look at them.
Deer-looking motherfuckers.
Seen
Can you
that
imagine
video where
seeing
the
this?
dude just punches a kangaroo? And
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
that kangaroo later comes back to his house like a week later, like
Really?
scratching on his windows.
No way.
Yeah, dude.
I haven't seen.
You're
that
not
part.
kidding?
No,
You're. Shut
I'm not
up.
kidding.
The
How
the
do they
video
know
where the
it's-
guys.
I've seen that
punching
video. I don't know if
the
it's
kangaroo?
connected, but I've
Yeah.
seen that video.
I mean, I could be
same
totally
kind of time
wrong.
frame.
Yeah, it was because it was only like a few days later, because it wasn't like this kangaroo was like that far from his house kind of thing.
Wow.
So I think,
Like scratched. At
Well, the one I
glass.
was thinking is the one where the guy's like boxing a kangaroo.
yeah, he goes and punches the kangaroo in the
Yeah,
face
saves
or
his
whatever.
dog.
Yeah.
The kangaroo just
And
sits there.
that's the one. Something to do with his
Yeah,
dog,
and
right?
then that same kangaroo, like a few days later, goes back to his home, or like is scratching on his window.
Yeah.
Wants to like square up.
No way.
Yeah.
Dude,
They,
they'll fuck with those ruse.
Oh, dude, they
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is the video.
And I heard this guy worked for like a zoo or something. And he got fired.
Big ass
because of
dog.
this.
He's trying to protect his dog.
yeah, which is
Look at him just hanging on to the dog. He's like, got him in a headlock.
Yeah.
Look at him.
So funny.
Fuck
Boom.
yeah.
I think he's just like so shocked, like
Get the fuck out of
Yeah,
here.
the kangaroo's like fucking mammal.
Oh my
He's just
god.
I'm out of here.
Homo sapien.
See, I think he
Yeah,
was
play that
more
again, Drew.
shocked to get punched in
Oh, yeah,
the
the
face
kangaroo.
by a human.
Yeah, I didn't expect some guy to punch him. That kangaroo's not fucking around though.
And don't they have like really long nails and stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah.
looks like it.
They're really dangerous.
Yeah.
What's up? What's up?
Just punched him in the face.
Oh my god.
He's like practically the same size. It's crazy.
Arms.
Slow motion.
Little tiny arms. Get the fuck
His
out of
hands
here.
just go up. What the fuck?
Get out of here.
Oh, that's good.
Just walks away.
I'm not even scared.
All right.
Dude, it's weird how jacked those fucking kangaroos look.
Yeah.
Like
They
bodybuilders.
really fucking do get jacked.
Yeah. Oh man. That's good stuff.
Yeah. Nature
What-
is interesting.
Fuck Australia.
Yeah. What do we got there, Andrew? We're about 2 hours in, give or take.
Ooh,
We're right about
153.
there.
153.
We can start wrapping this bitch up.
Watch your language, please.
Well, I guess we talked about some of the stuff that you have coming out, or the bands that you
Yeah.
worked on. Where can people find you? What's your Instagram handle?
Oh, it's just Dream Awake Mike.
It's at Dream Awake Audio. Isn't that right?
No.
No, you're wrong, Mike. Your handle.
Hold on.
Well, your Instagram is at Dream Awake Audio.
Yeah.
Is it?
I know that because I tag it.
Oh no, it
17
is.
times
Okay.
a day.
I just
No,
tagged
it
you in a
used to be
post.
Dream Awake Mike, and that's how I always remember it. And then when I had to turn it into like a business Instagram,
Yeah, there we go.
that's what happened.
At Dream Awake Audio.
Yas.
That's pretty much everywhere, right? If people type in that, they can find you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or your name, Mike Sahm, which
Or
is spelled
I think
S-A-H-M.
I think my Twitter. Oh no, what my Twitter handler is. I think it's Chick Hicks right now.
Chicks.
Yeah, I saw that. I was gonna ask.
Because we all got, my buddies and I got on this weird Cars binge thing for a while, like the movie Cars,
Yeah.
and
I've never seen it, by the way.
oh, it's great. I
Is
love
it?
it.
Wow.
Dude, all the Pixar movies are always, it doesn't matter how old you are, they're always entertaining. And because, who's the guy who does the voice of Chick Hicks?
I always wondered what that Chick Hicks thing was, your handle.
Dude,
I had no idea what the hell it was.
you have to pull it up now, because it's like the most ridiculous thing,
Andrew just stepped out. I think
Oh, he
he's
stepped out.
jacking
Dick.
himself off.
Yeah. I'm just gonna pull it up on my phone real fast. He just does this thing. It's so stupid, and it's probably not funny because you would have to like watch the movie or whatever.
Yeah, you're
Now,
Chick Hicks TM.
it's I'm trying to think who the guy does the voice of him.
Who's the like country comedian guy? He does something else, right?
Oh, he does
Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah, he
That's
does
something else?
the.
I've never seen it, so I don't know.
Yeah, no, he does the tow truck character.
Oh, okay.
Which I can't think of his name.
Oh, it's Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah.
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 Well, the address is actually at Mike Sahm for Twitter.
Oh, okay.
It's
good.
Chick Hicks, but at Mike Sahm.
Michael
so.
Keaton does Chick Hicks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so you gotta.
I'm a huge fan of Keaton.
Oh, yeah. No,
Dude
he's great.
rules, man.
And
Beetlejuice.
so when you hear him do the ka-chugga, it's just way funnier thinking of him doing it,
Right.
like, in my head. Like, I
Okay,
don't
so
see-
that's where that comes from.
Yeah. And so.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Because everyone in my band has like just a ridiculous Twitter handler, and I didn't have like one for the longest time. Like
Right.
mine was just at Mike Sahm for the longest time.
We've talked about your band, but how do you get in touch with your bands?
How do I get in touch with my band?
What's the name of your band?
Exactly.
It's called Impulse.
Impulse.
It's the most uninspiring name ever.
It's at Impulse PDX.
Yes.
At Impulse PDX for the band. Where can they find you, Neil?
At Neilio Engel, Neilio, and that's Instagram.
Where can they find you, Andrew, that just walked back in the room?
Instagram. Don't mind if I drew.
At Don't Mind If I Drew, one of the best handles ever.
That is a
love
good
it.
one.
I'm at James Ian Macmillan. That's my personal one. And then for Stateside Management is at Stateside MGMT. And the podcast is just hashtag Stateside Podcast. We don't have our own Instagram, but for now you can find us on all our individual Instagrams and the what have yous. Next week we got a good guest. I believe Logan Lynn is going to be on next week. Still haven't quite confirmed with him and his management, but sounds like that's probably going to happen. Thanks for coming on, Mike.
Thank you guys for having me on.
Yeah, man, we'll do this a lot. I mean, whether you want to or not, you're going to be on this show, my man.
I'm always ready to make a hot pod.
Hot pod.
Just start touching my dick. Okay?
Just start touching it.
If I touch Neil's dick more, I get
Yeah,
more pods.
you get more
That's how
pods.
that's how it works.
For every touch, you get a pod. How
Touch
about
my
that?
dick at a Golden Knights fucking hockey
Because
game.
eventually, this will not be a podcast with different guests. It'll just be me every time.
It's just going to be you.
touching
Yeah,
dicks.
the Mike Song show. Neil, you just wrapped up Not My Weekend.
First mixes.
First
Yep.
mixes.
That should
Yeah.
be done any day now. I've got
Love it.
4
We'll have those
different
boys on the
records
show.
that are going to be coming out soon.
Which ones are those?
I'm doing some new Alisana stuff. That's exciting. Nami Weekend, Sustainer, All Season. Couple of little miscellaneous single mix projects that haven't been, which I have to talk to you about, by the way.
Yes, we will.
That haven't been official yet, but it's looking like it's going to be a really busy end of the year. So,
Love it, man.
yeah.
All right, well, I think that's it for now, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Thank you for checking in. We love you.
Bye.